But it's time for us to get underway with our lower bracket finals. Serious repercussions awaits the loser of this game. Salt's Heart is definitely the dark horse, the underdog of this storyline. Weibo looking to defend their own honor. It's time for us to head to Chalet with Michael and Xenox from the Jake and Guz Show.
So it's lower bracket final time. Weibo, Salt's Heart, both looking to be the champion of the Asia region to go into the grand final and take on the Brazilians of the Asia region. Michael, a big game coming up. Whoever wins this really goes in as the fan favorites in the grand final later today to represent Asia properly, if I should say. And obviously there's a bit of history between these two teams playing in the upper bracket semi-final a little while back. That was a 2-1, but the two maps that Weibo won in that series, 7-3, 7-3, and then the one map that Salt's Heart won in 8-7. So, and also back into the group stage they played, Weibo won that. So when you kind of look at the body of work of the four maps these two teams have played against each other so far throughout the stage, it's a 3-1 split in favor of Weibo Gaming. So they definitely come into this as the favorites, but by no means do we look at Salt's Heart as a complete underdog.
So the band's now playing out. It is Kaid and Clash taken out for defense, and on the side of the attack it's the Blitz and the Kappa Tau, which is an intriguing little mix. Opens up plenty of options though, I guess, for either side, and it looks like Kitchen will be the starting point for this match. Salt's Heart on defense.
And also a quick little shout out to the old James Dev Martyr Stewart. It's his birthday today. I think he's turned 31.
I thought he was 40-something.
40-something?
I think in his heart he is.
Can we get some happy birthdays for Dev in the chat? Everyone watching along at home, send him over some well wishes as we get into the lower bracket final. It's a special day today.
Every day is a special day when we get to cast Rainbow Six Siege.
Especially in the Asia-Pacific region.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, last night we crowned the Oceania champion, which was Enterprise. Tonight we'll do so for Asia, but before we get to the grand final, we must see who's taking on Alove. Weibo, Salt's Heart, and Plod Me Out, which is Mark.
Yeah, I believe, I don't know the super specifics, but I believe his account may have been compromised and he's regained access, so we will call him Mike for the purposes of this broadcast, but...
Oh, we can call him Plodder. If he stinks up, he's plotting. I think that's a bit of an Australian term, to call someone a plotter. Just means they're not doing a lot. Ape with the opening kill on to DCH. Good start for Weibo. Of course, lost that upper bracket final last week to Alove. It was a decent contest, and they'll be wanting to contest and want to get in the grand final later today. Moves to the shock drop. Mira obviously facing in towards that library hallway. Will need to be dealt with, and the mirror has, of course, been dealt with in terms of the operator, but not so much the actual mirror itself.
Yeah, Reeves still with a shock drone in pocket as well, may eventually look to clear that particular position and maybe time that with Speakeasy on the Blackbeard. He can push from Ego. Bit of an extension still above here from the defense. 2-2 split being employed. Speakeasy now to pressure. Frag grenade to dislodge. And should be a pinch here from Ape, and is.
Yeah, too easy. And the fact that you got the extra numbers really to be able to do that. Scatman does clear Reaps, and up close as well, deals with Ape. Shotgun in hand from Scatman to find two. That was Kid on the floor as well. Gasbabe to try and just relieve some pressure. Now it becomes a 3v3 to the close left, but it's the Blackbeard, and Speakeasy is able to get the smoke off the board. Advantage once again for Weibo.
Diffuser is on a little bit of an island, but shouldn't be too many issues in being able to collect that. An opportunity to establish some vert as well and pressure out the likes of I9. Perhaps even Mark as well. Over towards Trophy currently with a rotate hole. Looking to find one back. Maybe not wanting to present that opportunity. They still have 60 seconds to make a play here. No need to rush.
Mark has a decent angle. Got a tag onto Turd. Not really the fight against the Blackbeard that you want in that situation, though, but he did get damage onto the Ash. Continues to play rather aggressive from this lower vert position. Still time for Weibo to not make any mistakes here. Speakeasy's made his way down towards Trophy. He's got the ping on Mark's position. Cut off, though, by I9. And helping out quite a lot. And Mark does go down to Hoffen, finds the upper angle. And Turd did get knocked, by the way, so it's a 2v1. I9 can also play time. There's only 20 seconds left.
Yeah, they'll be able to go for the res though. So 3v1, 20 seconds. Should be very tradable here for Weibo, you would imagine.
2 players low. Speakeasy, of course, on the Blackbeard, although steps on the Gumai. Not what you want. You want that shield up. If he gets this kill, and he can't, onto Holven, it would have made things very interesting. Holven had to hit his shots really, really well, dropping down from that hatch.
Ooh, yeah. Pretty high risk, especially with the new drop mechanic, but...
Yeah, not able to ADS as quickly, but got the kill anyway. 1-0 for Weibo. They had the fast start, and that's really what kind of got them off and going.
Yeah, I mean, Scatman offered a little bit of resistance over towards his bathroom position. He did a good solo hold, but as we've kind of become accustomed to post-Blackbeard rework, he's so strong at being able to take that map control and contest pressure. Bit of a stall out late towards the piece there. The vert contest from below from the remaining members of Soul's Heart was actually quite clean, but Weibo were able to eventually pick that apart. Got a little bit scary for a moment, but yeah, their systems were good enough. I'll rotate down to basement now for Soul's Heart in the second round.
This is the map pick of Soul's Heart, choosing Chalet, and it was touched on by the boys on the desk. These two teams have got a deep map pool, and it's something that I was looking at before we went live as well in terms of the recent best of three, Soul's Heart having played quite a few best of threes. This is their fifth best of three in the playoffs.
They've played 148 rounds heading into the day, so that was, this is round number 150 for them in the stage. Compared to Weibo, it'll be their 107th round.
And yet these are two maps that we haven't really seen them play. We saw the map vetoes before, and Soul's Heart, their first two bans were Clubhouse Lair, the two maps they lost in the upper bracket semi-final against Weibo.
All Reaps. Well, he's placed the charge in the middle, which leaves it vulnerable to the Bandit trick. I know could have placed that on either side, and it would have claimed the exothermic, so a slight misplay early on in the piece there from Weibo, and good counterplay from the Bandit.
How often do you see Reaps playing the hard breach? Certainly not in his top plate operators.
In his top three.
Oh, good angle from DCH. Captures out Turd. So far has had a bit of an average stage thus far.
In 75 rounds, take a guess at how many times he's played Thermite.
Once.
In fact, that's the only hard breacher he's played, and it was on one occasion. So that's the second time.
There you go.
And that exothermic placement was not great.
Holven, or maybe the third time will be the charm. Gets the kill onto Mr. Punch. Offsetting that early advantage gained by DCH. He takes trophy position. Getting shot, he didn't quite know where, and that's just a lack of awareness in terms of positioning. It was the long angle out from West Main, from Logs. Now repositions to a safer location. Alvin just skirting on the outside. Speakeasy in basement, the only one inside of the building right now for Weibo, so not a lot of map control. They will enter from basement.
Yeah, they're pretty eager, I think, to clear DCH, get that dining hatch control. Probably the correct play. DCH continues to aggress. His positioning here has been somewhat mixed.
Attackers recovered.
Hasn't overstepped the mark, though. Very, very difficult for Weibo to enter here at the moment. But critical to get this hatch control, especially if they want to try and cross for a default. They need to clear this.
If not mine as well, was thrown over towards that boiler wall. And taking a long time, and DCH's movement, as you said, has been very good. He's still not been caught.
Well, they've given up. There's no one up above to clear this now. They've completely stacked the boiler position.
It's a four-man stack down in basement. I don't think this is going to be an attack that will work, or at least it should not work.
Yeah, double stack hatch. Like, surely boiler cannot be a plant position that's viable here for Weibo.
I know you got the Blackbeard and you got that shield, and it's a sense of security and safety when pushing through these choke point positions, but they are really not going to be able to manage this.
Oh, they do.
Big Easy does walk through, got the kill onto Mark. RP lost
Where are you running?
his life. Reaps then gets a freebie onto DCH in a second,
Wow.
and they win that round. That is a round you shouldn't win.
No.
And
Never.
if Weibo had played that round from their perspective against the top team from NA, EU, Brazil, they lose that 20 times out of 20.
You play that internationally, you get fried. There's a BPC up, 2 players hatch, and you're able to brute force with the Blackbeard from below. DCH aggressing their West main as well. Questionable play. Could have again tried to trade from hatch. Yeah. Again, there is an element of an asterisk. It's the Blackbeard, who could be a pain in the ass to win a duel against, but still, it was just the fact that Weibo get away with that round with a pretty half-assed clear above is
Yeah. They wasted so much time. DCH played that round well. Weibo got nothing. Had one entry point, and the Blackbeard was good enough. And I mean, I think that's probably the difference between these two teams. Weibo, sometimes they can play a little bit down on form, but they've got a lot of that raw mechanics and raw skill that just kind of offsets, at least in this region. It's probably why at times you might then look at teams from Asia or APL in general when they go internationally, and you kind of see them in those positions where clearly Plan A isn't working, clearly you're lacking in terms of a lot of fundamentals. But the difference is internationally, the gun skill and the mechanics is not enough to offset.
Yeah, because everyone else is on a higher playing field.
2-0 start for Weibo here in the lower bracket final. And they've had 3 players alive in the opening 2 rounds, which honestly, after watching that previous round, is just staggering to consider.
Loading mag!
Officer bedroom here, top floor, round 3. Final round before we get next set of bands. Which, if I was a betting man,
BB.
Blackbeard, gone.
Yep.
And I think it'll be maybe the mirror of the inverse, which has been played quite a bit here by Soul's Heart.
Yeah, probably. Freeze Weibo from having to consider the Twitch, which they did bring back in round number 1. Not repicking it though into the second appearance of the mirror.
Yeah, slow and steady this round by Weibo. Ark though feeling pressure from Ego and the mezzanine. It's drone down, 5 drones remain.
I mean, there's a big responsibility on the shoulders of Mark here to both contest the breach and the Blackbeard as best as he can.
You know what happened last time though when Weibo went for
Attackers have recovered
that
the
Ego pinch. So it's not just on Mark, Scatman needs to control piano.
Yep. Well, flank potential here from DCH. He can contest that Ego jump in as well. And the balcony itself. Arpe is on Mez currently. And if unaware, could get caught.
Catman does his job, wins the battle towards piano, got the kill onto Reaps as well, which is always feels like getting 2 kills.
Not far off considering how high his KPR has been this stage.
Only a minute left. It's been a lot of posturing from Weibo, but not really a lot of action. DCH is getting a little bit restless. Hasn't spotted the player on the other side of the mezzanine pillar. But he gets a deep position now coming up these fireplace stairs towards the mezzanine. Freebie, hello, Turd's not watching. No flank watch at all. There's the second player and the kit. A third.
Wow.
DCH wins the round. Well, Soul's Heart, they just kind of got no pressure really put onto them. And so then they just started pushing forward. I mean, there's a nothing kind of round from Weibo. And that's the second round in a row. Weibo's attack has just looked quite poor.
Yeah, they got away with it on basement. They even, to an extent, got away with it on kitchen when they got stalled out after the vert control. But on that occasion, the difference being the DCH flank. Reaps was dead. I saw him. I think he flicked a library stairs drone, but clearly there either wasn't one in fireplace or he didn't jump on it. And the team was, of course, completely unaware that he was in that position and failed to trade.
Castle was played in the previous round. Leaves the mirror up, though, for Soul's Heart for the rest of this half. The only site that mirror was not played was in basement. Now going bar games. You can bring the mirror, of course, for bar games. Electing not to, though.
defenders. Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So this is going to be all 4 sites played consecutively.
One of the few maps in the pool where it's a very legitimate strategy.
Certainly viability on all of the sites. They're going to bring a bit of catch. They've got the Asami. It's very much probably just going to be that kind of library hold.
Yeah, you imagine library corner will get attention here. Catch can also be used for the mez and top library old style kind of hold that we would see back in the 30-second meta days. I question the viability of that given the Flores, but we'll see.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Rayora also available in the hands of Reaps.
Yeah, and anytime you see that Rayora get picked, for me, it's still just a question mark. Being, of course, still never really able to see it get used all that effectively. that often. It's such a mixed bag.
And much like the Thermite earlier, where Reaps only played it for the second time this stage, this is again the second time that Rayora will be played by Reaps this stage. Only one appearance so far. That's in how many rounds? 75.
It's also quite intriguing too, because you're putting Reaps on operators that kind of have to do something. I'd rather just put Reaps on an op that, like a Lion, for example, which is the second most played operator, and just let him just run around and kill people, and every now and then press a button, and that's it. Make it simple for him. Keep him gun up.
Always the risk with Rayora. Deploying that utility can be so challenging.
Well, he has deployed it. Certainly one of the avenues Rayora probably is underrated for is its ability to find entry positions a little bit safer with the use of these gates.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily have to be used as an execute util side or flank watch or anything. It can be used for just establishing and chipping away at map control.
Yeah, Turd cannot get in this game at all. Has not shown up in this lower bracket final to begin. We always know in this roster and this team and the dynamics that has been in terms of the history regarding Turdstar, you know, that it feels like there's always a bit of pressure on him to perform, and that he's always kind of been on that chopping block.
Yeah, he just got caught on that horizontal lurk through kitchen. Kitchen and dining.
It's going to be the third opening kill in a row as well for Soul's Heart. They're just starting to gain some form here on Chalet, and Weibo's attacks have really just stagnated.
Well, they've reached another stall-out point, so we need to see Weibo now step it up with util clearance. They've only got the one Rotero left, 2 grenades. They need to get value from that. The top library shield has at least been cleared, so that will alleviate some of it. Library corner not being held. DCH aggro, though, in library. Could maybe get caught, but Hoven doesn't have info on that and unable to find the pick. And
does force him to draw. They've still got to play library stairs and library as well. Happy, it's aggression. It's not really working, though, is it? Reaps and Hoven, though, get the last 2 kills. It makes it a 2-on-2. 30 seconds. Double stack towards Barstock.
Not particularly comfortable for defense to have a 2-stack Barstock at this point of the round.
Still got a gas babe as well, though, which will be very influential in the remaining 20 seconds.
Well, Scatman's legged it. He's repositioned, sensing that that's not optimal.
I think he wants to be able to defend over towards Bar a little bit better, which is where they're heading towards. Reaps and blocked off. Gas babe has to send through. Has to stick this plant, by the way, and hope that the cover is going to be good enough to make sure that this plant will go down. Hoven just quite literally stands right in front of Reaps. Push up close from TCH, went a little bit aggressive. And Reaps in a 1v1, you would usually back him, but he's so low on health against Scatman. Reaps does know his position and hits the headshot and clutches up for Weibo. Once again, though, another attack that looked rather ineffective, but does find a round win. If I'm going to be completely blunt, Soul's Heart should be 3-1 up. And they're 3-1 down.
Yeah, Weibo just have the clutch ability about them at the moment. They picked the correct plant position and then had the coordination to hold both sides once the plant was stuck. Soul's Heart probably had to flood that a little bit quicker, sensing that it wasn't going to be a fake. They then got isolated, fed ones, and made it difficult. And then, yeah, playing to the Reaps DMR was always going to be a tall task. And so, quite disappointing for Soul's Heart, considering that their early round has been really, really clean. They're making Weibo really work for these rounds. It's 3 straight where they've gotten the opening pick. Turd on the receiving end of 2 of those as well, still yet to find a kill in this particular match, and continuing on the storyline of his stage not being probably up to expectation. I think there has been increasing pressure on his position on the squad, and so he's wanting to prove himself this afternoon and, of course, be ready for a potential grand final bout where he will need to play at full strength. Elevator not going to have near as many weaknesses as Soul's Heart, is at least the expectation. They're not going to get away with playing this kind of siege in my eyes against an Elevator. Again, it's very early days, and it's, you know, first half attack into a Chalet. It's easier said than done. But
I think it's less about the scoreboard as it stands right now and probably what it could be, and maybe should be.
I would be far more confident in Elevate having done a better job in closing out the last few opportunities.
Well, I mean, right now my thought process is neither of these 2 teams are going to beat Elevate, and they need to find form. The good news for at least one of these 2 teams that will get to face Elevate is there's enough time that you can build a better body of work over the course of this lower bracket final.
Exactly. They're not playing...
You want to peak.
Especially Weibo, focusing in on them. I don't think in my eyes they're playing at 100% at the moment. Absolutely. So they have a lot more headroom to improve, which is the positive for them.
Well, so far, 5 kills for DCH and Scatman, but not getting a lot of help. I9, Mr. Punch, and Mark, all with just singular kills. And what's worse than a singular kill is no kills, and that's where Turd currently sits. Now on the Ying. His job will be to facilitate entry positions with those Candelas. Go kitchen and dining for the 5th round. Last time we saw this site was the opening round in which Weibo did win it, and that was probably the best round that we've seen from Weibo thus far.
Sell them out.
It does also feel like the lack of the Blackbeard is really hurting Weibo.
I'm honestly starting to question the validity of the stats that we've got, because I've had a look again at like some of the compositions, and Turd has not played Ying once this stage. So I don't know if this is maybe a Chalet's specific thing, or if they've gone in with a very conscious effort to be switching roles up, but they're playing some very different stuff in this game.
You got to back in the stats, mate. No, the stats don't lie.
Yeah, well, I'm going to believe them until proven otherwise. He's typically be playing Vert with the Deimos and the Sledge. And he dies first. Oh no.
That's 4 deaths in a row. Speakeasy does get the trade onto Mark. Speakeasy going for the plant into dining. Forced away though. Thought about maybe a sneak attempt and will very much now go for the replant. And I don't think anyone's in position to stop this, because you got 2 players that are above. And then,
well, I had 3 above.
Yeah, I mean...
they're all running around. And Scatman was just watching Kitch hatch.
This is now a 3 versus 2 if Mr. Punch can get I9 back up, but not given the opportunity or the chance. And a better constructed round from Weibo. They went with a little bit more pace and aggression, and I think it's quite fitting considering you look at the opening round. They got the opening kill at 2 minutes and 40. Since then, they haven't actually found an opening kill. And that was on Kitchen Dining. And they do it again here. Not so much in terms of the opening kill department, but in terms of just a little bit more pace. Hit the site. Go for an early plant around that minute mark. That's much better from Weibo. Certainly looked like they had more control on what they wanted to do in the round. And Reap's saying this is just a warm-up for the grand final. And look, they got some warming up to do, that's for sure.
Yeah, that round is much better than the previous ones, though. Yes, they lose opening pick, but they traded that out effectively for map control and presence in the Flood. On a lot of the other instances, they got picked before establishing any kind of control or presence or pressure. So in that instance, the trade was worthwhile. The vertical denial was not in position. Obviously, the plant spot was well calculated. And yeah, Soul's Heart were just stranded 3 players above and nothing they could do.
4 players, 120 EPS and above. Ape, Hoven, Reap, Speakeasy. So Ape's on a 120 EPS, Hoven's on 130 EPS, Reap's at 141, and Speakeasy on 145. Turd's on a 34. He's 0-4 KD, 0-3 entry, and that's probably the biggest issue. Like, it's one thing if you're not fragging. It's one thing if you're not maybe playing well. It's a whole other thing, though, if you're constantly first in and dying and giving the opposing team such an early advantage. The good news for Turdo is in the last 2 rounds, Soul's Heart were not able to convert those rounds. In fact, Soul's Heart have had 4 opening kills in a row. They've only converted 1 of those rounds.
Speakeasy quietly up to 6-2. Hoven also alongside with 6 picks of his own. Both have had, again, pretty solid stages, especially by their standards.
Well, this is the one site that Soul's Heart have been able to win so far in this half. Absolutely need this second round.
Yeah.
Stinger's active.
You'd see a reliance from Weibo with the Blackbeard to clear from Ego and establish that vert pressure. That's now taken off the board thanks to the new ban system. So we'll see how they react and how they fight for this.
On the flip side as well, the castle, the only time we saw it was actually on this site. It's now banned out. So Soul's Heart don't have those castle barricades. Nicely done from Mr. Punch. Got traded, but he took 2 with him. Mark also able to convert, and it looks as if the aggression from Weibo might not add up. Turd finally on the board. There's a pick. Big one onto Iron9. Keeps this round alive for Weibo.
Well, he's been stalled out here for the second, and Scatman's pushing up. So Turd is about to get caught.
Turd loses the angle fight against Mark, though. Turd had him pinched in the corner. He knew he was there. He just wasn't ready for the shot. Was not able to react quick enough. Had he got that kill, it's a 2v2. You open up the ability for Speakeasy to actually get into the site. It's the other 2 players playing back of site. Needed to get that one. Speakeasy, there's 1. Expecting the swing, but Mark needs to play this safe. Play each other. There's 60 seconds. Fall Speakeasy into a crossfire. And DCH is not going to allow him through that doorway. So, Soul's Heart were in fact able to get a second round, which certainly was required. They win out on Bedroom and Office. But it is Weibo that take a 4-2 advantage going into the second half.
Okay then. Keeps things somewhat competitive, but of course the dynamic now will change, and Soul's Heart on attack perhaps will have similar teething issues.
I say the one thing that's really staggering me is Weibo's the best team in Asia when it comes to the entry kills, 56%. Soul's Heart's not a bad team, 52%, which is just slightly above average. When you look at the kills this game, though, 5 rounds in a row, Soul's Heart have found the opening picks. And we're talking about Weibo on attack Chalet not being able to get entry kills. And yet, despite that, and despite that statistic, they went and had a 4-2 half. So when you kind of look at a lot of the numbers here, they've been in favor of Soul's Heart. You also look at the body of work and some of the rounds in which Weibo attacked, and you think, how is this a 4-2 lead in favor of Weibo? So they have not played their best Siege. A lot of things have gone against them. You know, Turd is 1-5, but yet they lead. And I think that's kind of the issue for a team like Soul's Heart, and maybe those that are in this Asia region, is they just lack the ability to convert on advantages. They just don't have that skill ceiling that teams like Weibo have. And right now, teams like Elevate. And I think that's probably the difference with a team like Elevate. I think Elevate, they don't make a lot of mistakes, but also when they get advantages, they capitalize. They keep it pretty simple.
Yeah.
They're not a super fancy team that's, you know, doing anything too crazy. They've just got really good fundamentals, and another team that has really good fundamentals is Enterprise. And that's kind of a really good showcase that you don't have to be mechanically the most gifted players. You look at Oceania as an example. Jigsaw and Croxon, easily, when you think of the best players in the region, it's those two. Well, they don't make top 2 anyway, because the mechanic's going to get you so far. You look at Reaps, mechanically, an absolute god, demon.
And still no shoe-in to make it either.
Not a shoe-in.
Yeah.
You've got to have good team synergy, good teamwork, good fundamentals. It's a team game, first and foremost.
Blitz and Blackbeard join Clash and Mirror on the bench for this second half. Limited shield play now available, but I9 to capitalize on what is still up, and that's the Monty for the 7th round. Site is bedroom, so top floor for the opener. Early posturing suggesting, I was going to say maybe Solar, but hard to say at this point in time.
Finds the pick onto Mr. Punch.
That's a long-range battle. That's high risk to be taking, but he wins it.
I was going to say it beats me to the punch, because I was actually going to mention with Turd playing an Azami in that position towards Bathroom. If he loses an early fight, opens up a big pathway for the Montank to pivot, come up towards Solar and pressure. Just the default Scatman on that shock drone.
Good drone denial there from Turd.
He does come I9. Double impact doesn't do a lot. I9's able to shrug those off, and then Turd dies to the Zofia.
That's well played there from Mark.
Was very low.
Down below in Trophy.
And
Speak easy as well, getting caught.
Speak easy. Why are you peeking?
Well, I think he got verted from... No, he got verted from below, so that's just double work there from Mark on the Zoff. That's no fault of Speak easy. I guess maybe could have tried to sustain the damage, but calculated play was maybe to try and escape. Good catch.
So 3v4, Soul's Heart have quietly worked their way into this round really nicely. Good solar pressure now with the Monte, and there's really nothing that can deal with this from the defense. They're in some trouble here, Weibo. Soul's Heart just
you're really reliant now on I9 making a big positional mistake.
Yeah, that's basically it. Soul's Heart need to basically fumble the bag.
Hovland's also all the way over library side, so he can't even stack goo mines.
This is done. This is good due diligence. Super clean round from Soul's Heart, making no mistakes whatsoever. And even in that final battle, Mark's just better.
That's a big round from the Zofia. I mean, it's rather rare that we see the Zofia picked in general, and it's even rarer to see really clean vert clears like that. First one onto Turd, of course, faultless, and then the clear onto Speak Easy meant that that side of the map was completely weakened. And another example of an opening pick and going astray. That one I think was a little bit less egregious there from defense. It was more so just really good attacking prowess, but again, it is another example on paper.
And Reap saying before that they're just warming up. Well, it really does look like they're just warming up because they're not switched on right now. Soul's Heart really good in that round, but you know you can't just in the back of your mind, you've got to remember, like some of the calamities that we saw in the first half from Soul's Heart as well. They've been making mistakes too. This has honestly been, in terms of quality, really lackluster so far.
Cafe up next. Selection of Weibo didn't ban it at all this stage. Played it once and had a victory against a rival 7. So limited record, but
Well, that was the discussion on the couch, was of course the extensive map pool for both of these two teams. Now heading into a lower bracket final where you're going to maps that essentially haven't really been played. So it's being put to the test. And on top of that, Weibo are also adding in operators that they don't typically play.
yeah, Cafe played once by Souls against Daystar. A victory on that occasion.
I think right now, if Elevate's sitting back and watching this, they're pretty content with where they sit in the grand final. Not a lot has really stood out.
Storyline for me currently in APL is, can any of the import teams qual? Can any of the import teams finish number 1? GG out. Still 2 remain in Elevate here in Asia. D+ over in APN tomorrow. It will be very intriguing if all 3 fail.
Right now, I think Elevate's probably looking the best of the bunch, which was definitely not something I had on my bingo card.
Did you predict Elevate heading into today? I think I picked Weibo.
I think I might have gone Weibo as well. That's a good question.
Although it's certainly not as clear-cut as I think I may have thought during that prediction process.
I did go Weibo.
May have just been some
I also
bias.
had Gaming Gladiators yesterday winning their game, but then I did also predict Enterprise to win the grand final, so I got that one.
Yep.
I've also got FearX to win out tomorrow.
Yeah, FearX look really good.
Well, just under 90 seconds, nothing happening in this round so far. Might be good news for Weibo, to be honest. Soul's Heart really slow, but you play that Montaigne, you're expecting a bit more of that slower nature, and it is bar games. Oh, headshot angle was available for Alpay and can't make it down the mezzanine.
Good
Mark
catch.
able to catch him.
Mark's on a bit of a hot streak at the moment.
Yeah, Mark's playing really, really well. Someone check him account.
Check him, PC.
Plod me out. I9 is just facilitating, and I think that's the beauty of a player like I9.
Whoa, look at this dynamic attack. This is so much better than anything we saw from
Weibo.
Weibo.
Timeout. Weibo just getting cooked right now. Turd just got kind of sucked into the contest. Reaps gets a freebie, but at this point it's a stat pad kill. He's got a 1v4, and he needs an ace clutch. 35 seconds, and he can't win the battle against Scatman. I think it's time for a timeout. It's 4-4, but it's also 3 in a row for Soul's Heart. And Weibo clearly just looks switched off at the moment.
I love that attack, though. You spearhead it with the Monty and game pressure. The util clearance was pretty minimal, and you have the lurk threat. Weibo didn't have... unless I may be forgetting a round or two, they just didn't have that kind of lurk threat, the back pressure, etc., to kind of break open rounds where, in those instances, they got sold out head-on with util.
No timeout. Which I think, to be fair, though, I will say, I think one thing I've noticed in terms of tactical timeout usage, it seems like teams take it with the bans if possible.
Yeah, I think you want to stack it with the bans and also wait for the full rotation.
The only reason why I was essentially calling for it is the fact that our 4-1 lead is now evaporated. It's all 4-4, and Weibo, for the most part, haven't looked really good.
I don't even know where Scatman came from there. I wasn't even tracking him, and clearly Weibo had no idea either. I don't know if it was a mud entry or it may have been garage. Probably more likely, but...
Well, it just made his way up library stairs and just no one watching.
Well, yeah, it was more so prior to that. Probably
I mean,
garage.
from like bot.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
either way, no timeout. We go to bedroom and office for the 9th round.
Attacker's objective is to
Weibo
defuse the bomb.
look in all sorts, and it's not just the fact they've lost 3 rounds in a row. They've only still found 2 opening kills this entire match, and also they've only converted one of those rounds. And that's actually been a bit of a wild figure so far. It's only 4 rounds opening kills have been converted. That is a very low rate. Very low rate. I think for the most part, you would usually see 80 to 90% conversion.
And the large majority of these opening kills are in the first half of the round as well. It's
Yeah.
not like they're all 30-second executes and it's like it has less impact. The team with the early advantage typically has a lot more space and time to actually utilize that. Only one instance it's actually been immediately traded. All the others, it's been later on in the piece.
Yeah, and I was going to say before as well with I9, to me, the kind of player that he knows when he's hot. He knows when he's maybe not so hot. Right now, 2-6. So facilitate. I9 will then transition, become the facilitator. He will help out. He will help out others perform. And in other games, as we've seen even internationally, sometimes he's the fragger. Sometimes he's performing really well. Again, slow pace on the attack from Seoul's Heart, but so far the slow-paced attacks have been working for them, in contrast to Weibo, where it was certainly not working for them, and they had to go a bit quicker to get their attacking round. Speakeasy holding towards the window inside a bedroom. On the rappel now is DCH, and Speakeasy moves back.
Using frag!
To deal with these castle barricades that Weibo had issues with in the first half in this particular site, looking to use them themselves. Whole top floor defense for Weibo right now heading into the final minute, and this will be the longest amount of time gone without an opening kill. But it might be the go time off the back of the Lions scan. That's a barricade to be opened up over towards Ego. A stall out now from that Zoto canister, and it is Mark that finds the opening pick on to Reaps. That's a huge kill. Ape is also down at the moment, not out, but unlikely to probably get back into the fray. Huge kill elsewhere, though, does give Weibo the slight advantage, and boy, do they need a round to offset what's been an absolutely dominant performance from Seoul's Heart to get themselves into this position. And Scatman, he's got the kit, but he's not in the position of where I9 is, towards half wall.
Speakeasy still prone off as Nitro in pocket, so that could be a big threat, and I don't think Seoul's Heart have any idea where he is.
Scatman's made his way over, and I9 will slip out towards the half wall. 2 Nitros available. I9 gets caught. Scatman gets off the kit. 7 seconds up close. Speakeasy goes for a swing. 3 seconds though. Scatman was hoping they would just rush him. Now he sticks the plant. DCH rebel in. Takes the fight with Holven, but Holven's a little bit better on the shots. Outpay's able to deny the plant altogether. Weibo finally get around. First one in this half. First one since round 5. And they retake a lead that they had earlier at a 4-1 advantage.
A pretty intense round there. Weibo, they're able to finally break the 3-round streak established by Seoul's Heart. And they'll pocket that tack, understandably so, now with the lead. Man's 5 and 6, that's Monty Castle. Monty is a tool that was utilized on 2 occasions pretty effectively by Seoul's Heart, converting rounds 7 and 8 as we look back at round 9. It was all looking pretty decent for Seoul's Heart up until this final portion. Turd cleared half wall, but they double stacked it with Speakeasy. Ultimately, he was caught, but actually did soak up quite a bit of time and pressure. DCH was stranded back on that double rappel. Very difficult to have impact from that position without someone else, a third player covering directly on that plane in the back line. Kitchen in play for round number 10. And Seoul's Heart buy back.
Loading new mag. 10 seconds to insertion.
It's been a funny old game. Certainly not the way in which I would have anticipated this series to begin. Feels a bit sloppy. There's certainly been mistakes. And so much dominance in the opening part of these rounds from Seoul's Heart, but not always able to convert. 9th round, yet another one where they got the opening pick, but not able to convert. That's now their 4th round of such a case. And that is not a statistical number that you would want to have, because it's a very, very unlikely one usually. 2 and 8 for Turd has really struggled. And on the Azami once again, super important operator. Benefit for Weibo though is you've got 2 players that are essentially that superstar level, Speakeasy and Reaps. So in this case, it's Speakeasy 10-6, and Reaps is okay, a little bit more quiet this game, but they could flip in the next game, and suddenly then Reaps can drop 15, and Speakeasy is maybe a little bit more quiet. Cafe next up, which will be the map pick of Weibo. They're 2 rounds away from securing Soul's Heart. Map pick of Chalet. And finally, an opening kill for Weibo. They've really not had a lot of those so far in this map.
Yeah, good aggression there from Speakeasy, peeking that front door position, able to pluck that kill, fall back, and can regen goo mines. Rest of the attack hasn't been able to claim too much control off the back of that outside of Mark. He's in bar.
Well, where's the map control right now from Soul's Heart? I know they've been playing a rather slow-paced attack, but they've given up quite a lot here for Weibo to be able to hold for large periods of time. It's like you've got just over a minute. Now, this is kitchen and dining. You need to clear above them. Like, you're not going to give yourself a lot of time when it comes to the side execute. Your best way to win now is as you clear above, you quite literally kill everyone, or close to everyone. And you don't really lose bodies the other way around. Now we're under a minute.
Yeah, the peel here from Weibo.
Like, we've only just started to clear in towards top floor, guys. There's 50 seconds.
A really big fucking...
Or maybe you have to just think about going direct. Play off the smokes. You've got quite a lot of them. Flood the site with smokes. Go and try and stick this plant. And if it doesn't get denied, forget about the vert altogether.
I think as this round goes on, it's going to be their only option left.
They don't have the time to clear above now. You just don't. At best, you keep... Miss the punch in this location. Contest above. Don't give them a free vert look in, and you just send the smokes in.
Yep.
Go for the plant.
And hope that Reaps doesn't pop off.
Reaps, early contact. He's feeling a lot of the pressure. He can call over to the team, though. It's a double stack outside the breach. Yeah, getting caught in the hallway. Scatman, guess what? That was Ape, and from where above?
They didn't use the smokes.
Mr. Punch died. He was the only player above. And as you said, also none of the smokes used. Iron's still got 2 smokes, but he also wasn't at the breach. He was more over towards West Main. Mark's going for a rotate in towards Kitchen, so they don't even go for a dining plan. And as we predicted, because you never cleared above, you die. Guess what? We're from above.
Yeah, the win con there has
Horrible attack.
The win con has to be clear Reaps and plant in a smoke. It's really all that's left. And again, that's a waning condition. It's not likely to work.
Oh, the attacks on this map have been pretty dreadful from both teams.
So 6-4 scoreline. Map point, Weibo.
And I say that when the attacks have actually been winning rounds. Like, it's not a case of, you know, this is an ultra uber defensive sided Chalet. But a lot of these attacks have also gotten away with rounds they probably shouldn't.
We're framing this on the condition that it's unlikely to work against Elevate.
Oh, it's definitely not. I don't even think this would work against Ludovica. I'd take Ludovica right now over these two. Give me the box.
Box would be dropping a 25 bomb.
Oh, jeez. Now, look, and you know, I don't really want to sound too negative, but it's a quality of play right now for a lower bracket final that's just not up to par. If this was 2 weeks ago, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like, you're just scrapping at this point. It's early on playoffs. Who cares? But you're going to have to play again today in a grand final, and you're going to need to play a lot better against an Elevate team that has been steadily improving. They have been rising and getting better and better and better throughout from day one of group stage until last week. They have not really shown any kind of signs of regression or slowing down. And they're going to be primed. And they also don't have to worry about playing a best of 3 before the grand final. They're sitting, they're chilling. They're going to be very much prepared. They get to watch what you're doing. So whoever wins this lower bracket final is going to have to really switch off that grand final. Otherwise, I think it's going to be really tough to see Elevate losing. The good news is I think Weibo's definitely got more headroom.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not to imply Soul's Heart can't play better, because they too can play better than this. But I think there's a little bit less headroom. They're getting a lot out of Scatman this game. Mark also has had some really, really good moments.
I think for Weibo, it has to be, let's close this one out in reg and just smash them on Cafe. So you're feeling ready to go for game number 2.
Statistically, Weibo, of course, the best attacking and defensive team in the region and the best entry team. They are the statistical kings. But that didn't get them the job done in the upper bracket final against Elevate, and certainly their general play today hasn't quite been up to par. I And even like a player like Reeps, who we looked at his numbers and we ran the numbers, you know, before this game, plus 49 KD. We wanted to think about, well, what's his KPR and things like that. But he's only 6 and 7 this game. This is actually almost fundamentally maybe his worst game of the stage. Like it's actually close to that territory. Now he's 6 and 7, average play, that's whatever, but it's Reeps, so he has the spotlight on him. 6-4 though, they still find themselves 2 rounds up and have the chance to take the map pick of Soul's Heart. And that's also the scary prospect for Soul's Heart, is you're losing a map where Weibo are really giving you a lot of advantages.
Weibo still with their tack, so presumably if they are to lose this round, they'll immediately proc that. Candelo's up above, and it's pressure onto Turd, but he withstands the first. Mr. Punch falls.
Yeah, played the keeper barrier really well, but not ready for Mark. Whoa! Oh, Mark and an entry through the mezzanine, lighting up 3 players. But the job's not done, because guess who are still alive? It's Reeps and Speakeasy, the dynamic duo for Weibo. And Mark, despite his good work, is also now very low from said work. But there's no util, whatever, for these two. No nitro, and they've lost Speakeasy down to Reeps, and he's just overwhelmed. Soul's Heart didn't give them a chance to really reset, reposition. 6-5. And what a round, especially from Mark. Set the tone. If Turd swings Mez and kills him there, they probably lose that, and that would be the map.
Mark's had a couple of really big rounds, especially on attack. He had the Zofia 2K clear on Turd and Speakeasy round 7, and
a 3K to start this half, and a 3K just then as well. He's been very, very good.
No tack Weibo. They haven't used their tack.
No, they have
yet,
not.
Right?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I guess nothing to really talk about, which is quite surprising to me, because I think this is a game where there's been a lot to talk about.
More guns ready. Shoot it if you need it. Perimeter at mine. More gun is ready. Use it if you have to.
Yeah, and the opening kills are just, there's so many X's instead of ticks, it's insane. It's not common. Usually it's just full of green ticks, but yeah, strange one. And I thought Turd actually did a pretty decent job over towards Library. You're getting flash, you're getting entryed. He plays his keeper barrier well, got the kill, and then tries to get the trade over towards Mez, but he's always going to be a little bit late coming out of Library. Can Soul's Heart send this one to overtime? Again, these two have played quite a few maps so far this stage. 4 maps to be exact before this lower bracket final. And Weibo 3-1 record against Soul's Heart so far. The only map that Soul's Heart was able to take off of Weibo, the upper bracket semi-final, was an 8-7 on Labs. The only game that went to OT, Soul's Heart got it. And this is Soul's Heart map pick. So if they can force OT, for me, I think they really take prio position to take this map. Big round coming up for Weibo.
Bar stock hold from Hoven. And a contest above from Reeps. Weibo have shown good discipline though on the peel, and typically aren't over-aggressing or re-aggressing at that matter too early. The Deimos as well will keep Reeps at bay and offer the opportunity now for Soul's Heart to get some more map control, but the impact here from Turd suggesting that maybe they do want to re-aggress at some point in the round, such as the meta on defense currently. Hoven able to escape. The Reeps and Turd go for this re-aggress above to contest the likes of DCH on the vert, and Mr. Punch looking open hatch on Hib.
Yeah, and then I wonder though, does I9 almost then go for the aggressor on the aggressors and could go for a flank up?
Oh, his trophy, yeah.
Solid.
This is going to be a very, very intriguing dynamic. And he's also there to catch them if they completely fall off this re-aggress, yeah.
So he's kind of, like, the position of I9 is a twofer. It's as you said, if they fall off, then you catch them on the rotate, and if they don't, you can get in behind them. Soul's Heart are very clued on, especially since they had the death mark on Reeps, reconfirm his position. He's still above. They might not know about Turd, though, if they haven't droned it properly.
I wonder. 55 seconds now.
I9's on the move, by the way, and he's going up towards Solar. And Reaps was not ready. Turd does got the kill onto Mark. He actually got the kill onto DCH as well with the trade. It does mean for I9, there's no one actually left over on that side of the map, so he's not in the picture right now. Hobbin loses out to Mr. Punch, and it leaves only Ape. And we are going to overtime.
Wow. Round 12, the Soul's Heart. You called it OT. And this scrappy match continues.
Yeah, I mean, just the way that Reaps at the office half wall is clearing big window, mezzanine, and it just doesn't look like he was...
Was it a confidence thing?
I don't know.
Again, you are kind of going in blind with lack of info there, so it's tricky, but Reaps is the kind of player you would expect to thrive there and be the difference maker, but in this match, he has been middle of the road.
Yeah. Well, Soul's Heart now get double defense on Chalet. Now, of course, it hasn't really been a defend-decided map per se, but I think overtime double defense is always probably what you want for the most part. A bit more comfortability. And no surprise that they go straight to bedroom and office. This has been the site that, well, Weibo just could not attack into. It's the only site that Weibo could not attack into. Which sets you up nicely, because if you win this, then you just have to win one of your last two. And you could take this opening map, and it would put a lot of pressure on Weibo. And I'm going to be completely blunt. I don't know if Weibo's the kind of team that mentally can deal with that kind of pressure going into Cafe.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I think my opinion's very much mixed at the moment regarding that.
Attackers
There'll
are
be
moving
no
to
better
defuse the
tester,
bomb.
really.
5 of the last 7 rounds have been won by Soul's Heart. Don't forget, Weibo led 4-1 to begin.
Mr. Punch with a 3K in the last round. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th multi-kill in this series out of 12 rounds played. So there's been quite a few highlight moments.
Punch was 3 and 9 as well coming into that round.
Interesting fact as well, 4 attacking round wins in that second half. Not a single plant. We saw 2 from Weibo in the first half.
Yeah.
So plant's not a win con for Soul's Heart. But for Weibo, maybe a little bit more so here as they start out attack OT.
And you know the funny thing about that? Soul's Heart the best plant team in the region.
Really?
33% plant rate.
There's been some stat-defining things occurring in this match.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a weird old lower bracket final to begin. There's a lot of things that have just left me shaking my head. Turd now on the Glaz. Do we want to get a Glaz check?
Didn't even have to ask.
Does have extra smokes courtesy of the Twitch.
Second appearance
Second appearance.
in this stage, Glaz Turd.
Both teams are really digging into their bags of tricks. The Maverick Glaz freebie done.
Nice.
Good headshot from Turd. Maybe should play it more often.
Doesn't get much easier than that, lurking inside of the smoke. Good execution. Frees up half wall. In fact, office now completely vacant.
Speakeasy doing some little drawings here as he gets open the wall so that they can get half wall. 3 gas babes available for I9, double nitros as well. So there's still a decent chance here for Soul's Heart to be capable of denying a rather default plant, provided there's not a lot of pressure from Weibo. So it's still very much important for Weibo to get pressure on these backline players, so it's not that easy as just rip and send. And clear out Piano.
Yeah, half wall currently is definitely not a win con. Or it will be somewhat tricky. You've got to be really switched on in preventing the nitro. And Scatman is...
Well, here's the
he's
push.
back. Yeah.
They wanted to re-aggress. Unironically, the barbed wire not really helping the defenders.
Well, it's not the worst stall out strat now. It's only 30 seconds left. And half wall's now been reclaimed in the midst of that pressure.
Swing it, why not? Mr. Punch clears out Ape, takes Ego, and puts pressure down on Weibo that this is not really a default plant position that you can take comfortably.
That was risky.
Mr. Punch was so close to winning that fight, Speakeasy.
Nitro below.
Barely stays alive, and as you pointed out, Scatman has that Nitrocell from below, and this could be enough, although he goes early, but he holds. Now he can just play. Speakeasy does not go default. He goes at the entry position. I9 going for the swing. Is there a flank watch? Blows the Nitro, but guess what? It's not a default plant, and because Scatman had rotated down below, he's not there to contest, and the Glaz from Turd is able to get the final kill to confirm the round. But that plant was going to be successful anyway. Weibo, once again, have now got map point. This will be their third opportunity to close out. And they go defense.
I didn't even see a Nitro detonate there. So maybe it was dealt with. Irrespective of that, good attack pattern there from Weibo. Probably one of the better ones we've seen. Especially in the face of that, again, that mid-round re-aggression that's becoming increasingly popular from defense. We saw that open up the opportunity for half wall. Speakeasy made a massive heads-up play by going for that kill there. He loses that and Diffuser got stranded. It probably was round over.
I love this swing as well from Mr. Punch. I thought that really brought Soul's Heart back into the round. And arguably,
Right
I
here,
think he could have got
that was
kill.
massive.
Yeah.
That was a turning point in the round. That was big from Speakeasy. Still don't know what happened to the Nitro below.
Yeah.
But I was keeping a keen eye on the overhead and I never saw it detonate. Either way, 7-6 scoreline. Weibo now, I mean, honestly, retaining the tactical timeout will be.
Even if it had
positive.
detonated, it wasn't going to stop the plant.
It was on
because-
default, right?
Yeah, it was on default, but
Yeah.
the plant wasn't.
Shouldn't have killed him anyway.
So Kitchen and Dining, which was won out by Weibo last time they played it in the 10th round.
Yeah, only the 1 attempt we saw.
One attempt,
the
but
Reap's final stand, but the
100%
vert control was
success rate.
there.
Being defused by attackers.
It's the only round actually in this entire map, by the way, where time decided the round.
Dread mine on.
Souls Heart have to hone in on clearing the vert better this time. Or if they're going to flood site,
Camera feed up and running.
utilize smokes better. One or the other.
No shields available for Soul's Heart. All of the 3 main ones banned out. Don't imagine we will see a fuse.
10 seconds remaining.
Swapping.
New feed active.
5 seconds to go.
New camera feed.
And a switch from DCH onto the Ying.
Don't worry. I'll be
Played it once so far to date. That was back in round 11 on Barn Games. It's the only time that Soul's Heart had brought the Ying.
Reloading.
It's a similar lineup, but not really. The idea here is the sheer aggression of the Dockerby Finker Ying combination. That's where the real fragging power really should be coming from.
Shock blown going live.
And also just realized, by the way, Turd's gone onto the Valkyrie. This is not something that we actually saw from Weibo at all.
This is his most played defender this stage.
They're out of shock drones, but it depends on if these are going to be easily found. No IQ on the board for Soul's Heart. Well, easily found.
There was another one, Library Hall. Maybe that was... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's being shown now. Yeah, okay. That was the Mez one that's standing. Library Hall, the one that was cleared, of course. And so that will feed info. Should be feeding live info right now with Mark in that particular position currently.
And last time they played the Malusi and the Frost, they've swapped those two out for the Valkyrie and the Tuber out. Candela's to be activated here by DCH. Another one in hand, getting prepped to throw in towards Piano. Couple of plays out in the balcony. That was an early Adrenal Surge, by the way, as well. Helps out Mr. Punch in the battle, and he talents take the entry kill onto Turdstar. And so far, this is just a clean sweep from Soul's Heart. Talk about that sheer aggression. As I said, the combination of the Dockerby, Finker, Ying. You're bringing firepower. We want to hit them hard and fast, and that's exactly what they did. And it's flawless from Soul's Heart. That will indeed be our first flawless of the entire map, all the way in the 14th round. And we head to the 15th with a switch once again, where Soul's Heart will go defense to try and close out their map pick of Chalet and put a real dent into the campaign of attending that grand final for Weibo. Soul's Heart looking to play spoils, and this is a difficult one to split right now. It's not quite been back and forth in nature. There's been a lot of 2 or 3 round wins in a row for both of these two teams. It's been largely momentum based, but it's still difficult to get a grasp on who's going to close this out and take this map.
Well, Weibo went all in on the last round. The tactical timeout, the change in composition. Soul's Heart called their bluff and flooded top.
Yeah.
That's got to shake the confidence a little bit, surely.
Deploying
In a
shield.
funny old opening map, but entertaining nonetheless.
Well, Weibo essentially wanted to play stall out and time.
And Soul's Heart went,
And
screw it.
I don't blame them, because really when you look at the Soul's Heart attack half, they were quite slow. So you really, if you slow a slow team down even further, then that time factor is going to become relevant again. When did time become relevant? On that 10th round when it was a timeout. So, well, the time ran out.
Yeah, and that was the only round of the entire
And
match.
so Soul's Heart flip it themselves, and it's almost like they're playing chess, and both teams are trying to make the right move, and Soul's Heart were able to catch the bluff, and they just went really fast.
Attackers are moving.
Probably the fastest hit that we saw from Soul's Heart in any of their attacks on this map. 7-7.
It was a bit of a slow wind-up, but once they got going, it was like bang, 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 bang. The Weibo go direct here. That would be quite the call on the 15th round. I don't think so.
Bring the Yana. And
Oh, no!
What the hell are you guys doing? Oh, I love the Asia region.
Was that him trying to shoot Frostmat and got the teammate, maybe?
Oh, my God.
That's remarkable.
That is insane. Oh, wrap it up.
No way.
And I tell you what, I wonder, does this have repercussions going into Cafe for Weibo's mental? Because they should be chalked. They should be devastated. They had a 4-1 lead on Chalet, and Soul's Heart are looking to crush Weibo's spirit, and they do just that in the 15th round. They take their map pick of Chalet. As a wise man once said, calm as ice.
I'm seeing some giggles on the cams from Soul's Heart. They know they got a little bit fortunate in that round, Rob, but they win it out in the end, and they set up quite the series.
They certainly do. Soul's Heart take the lead on map 1. Granted, their own map, and 8-7 is what it took to get across the line. Kind of scary when you think about how this game has played out, and kind of mortifying to see how that last round played out, Pengu. Not ideal at all for Weibo.
Not at all. I mean, at the very first you saw Weibo play a couple different new operators in the lineup, whether it's the Ying, the Aura, Reaps playing Thermite, etc. And already there I'm thinking, okay, they're changing things up from the previous weeks. Weibo have recognized that they have a problem, and they're here to fix that. And then it just doesn't look all that much better throughout this series. And then we see the side swap, right? Soul's Heart, they start a little bit slow on their attacks, and maybe that's going to be enough for Weibo to get back into this game mentally and feel fine about things. But no, then Soul's Heart, they speed right up, and we see what happens. They take round after round the attack, and they keep Weibo fighting. I don't know, man. It's a little bit heartbreaking for Weibo fans because they've been looking so solid.
Yep.
And then here in Chalet, they do not.
Yeah, you mentioned that it was going to be won and lost on most of the attacks for this game, and when you look at the stats of both of these teams, how proficient they are on their attacks, it definitely it lent into a very attacker-sided Chalet. I mean, 4-2 first half, 4-2 second half, and then in overtime it's attack dominated up until a serious blunder from Weibo, which you'll see in just a minute. Something that I'm sure they will. It's going to haunt them. There's no two ways about it. It will haunt them. However, I think one thing that really sticks out to me, Dev, is when I look at this as a snapshot. I can't believe that just happened, bro, in the last round. As a snapshot of the data that I'm pulling right now, unless everything that I'm getting is wrong, Weibo underperformed individually horrifically.
Well, the stats that I've got is that only one player was above 100 EPS.
Insane.
Speakeasy, which is funny because considering we were talking before this about, my God, Reaps is insane.
Yeah.
He's like the best opening kill player, 0-5, by the way, for opening kills. He was absolutely shut down out of this map. Now, there were, like you said, some really good attacks. I particularly loved that Glaz round. We were talking a lot about Turdstar off air, you and me, Rob.
Yes, we were.
And then he goes and gets like a 4K on the Glaz and holds the fort down that round. So yeah, there were some cool moments, but despite big rounds from guys like Turdstar, despite some 3K from Speakeasy, all these players are struggling to keep their head above that 100 EPS.
It's disappointing, I guess, from when you scope out a little and you look at Weibo's performance in the last, I'm going to say 9 to 12 months, it hasn't really instilled me with a lot of confidence that they are the number one in the region, that they are the number one in their region, let alone in the wider APAC region. It's kind of fallen off a little bit. Pengu, where do you see the biggest pain points being for Weibo at the moment? Or do you just think that this is just a map that we don't really need to worry about too much?
I have had some worries about them, and you look at Weibo and you go, they could be the best, they couldn't be the best. It kind of depends on what version of them show up on a given day. I think it comes back to what I said in the very beginning of the desk, right before that first map started, they seem a little bit too linear, where when this person plays this operator on this attack on this map, they play well.
Yeah.
But then when they gotta start adapting and flexing around and get that depth in their gameplay, that's when they fall short. We're seeing Reaps on Thermite putting the extra thermite charge on the middle of the wall instead of left or right, gets penetrate for free. It's small things like that.
Yeah.
Reaps goes on Aura, knows value with the gadget, 0-5 on entry. It feels like they have a very linear play style that they can do well. And
Yeah.
outside of that comfort zone, they are not a top team.
That's a terrifying prospect to actually have to, I guess, dissect, especially as we move into a map like Cafe. That's where your problems on attack are going to amplify if you don't get things under wraps. Speaking about problems on attack, how about we have a look at that last round and where things went horribly, viciously wrong for Weibo. It's really hard to see there. Hoven shoots as he... There we go, the perfect replay. Shoots as he jumps in, and somehow the way that it glitches, he headshots to
There's
it.
not
That is-
even a mat.
That is so unlucky, but I think, unfortunately, it caps off a really disappointing conversational point for Weibo, which is, I really feel like they should have had this, and they should be
Yeah.
1-0 up in the series going into their map pick.
Yeah, a lot of moments where you thought that they were going to win it. I mean, I think it was a 6-4 lead as well
Yep.
before the comeback to push overtime.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, so
Yeah.
Cafe is next on up. We have seen Weibo play it a couple of times. The most recent time they played it was against the rival 7. They won that pretty comfortably, but of
Yep.
course, the A7 didn't even make the playoffs. The time before that, they played Elevate. Now, that's like a serious opponent, and
Yep.
they did win 8-7.
Okay.
So it's a tight record against a very top team. Weibo know this map. They like this map. But yeah, I do think just with, unfortunately, like the little tiny little missteps, like a team kill to
Yep.
lose the map, it's things like that that might get in your head. Moving into your map pick, I think that, yeah, Weibo need to be careful. I wouldn't be surprised if we go the distance. I kind of hope we do. Like I said, I want to see these teams play on 7 out of the 9 maps in the pool in the space of 4 weeks.
That would be great.
But yeah, Cafe... Weibo really need to step it up because especially after that upper bracket final against Elevate, it's not the same dominant Weibo that we saw in the regular stage where they went flawless.
No. Nick, expectations for Cafe here before we head to a break. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's time for Weibo to show that they deserve to go to the grand finals and deserve to be called one of the top teams of their region and in all of APAC. This is do or die, and it's now a matter of get a clean victory on Cafe, go to border, and then just get the job done there. If you cannot come back, mentally in the server, strategically, and individually show up now, you don't deserve the grand finals, and you certainly won't go there.
No, many have picked Weibo for a very long time as being one of the best teams in the wider APAC region, potentially someone that could spearhead a new fortune, a new future for the APL. But right now, they are 1-0 down in the series. They risk elimination. We head to Cafe after this.
You know how they say it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
처음 본 순간부터 눈을 뗄 수가 없었어. 이 세상 하나뿐인 너 처음 봤으니까 빠졌으니까 Then you got me sinking low. 사랑이란 단어로 있잖아 어렵지 않아 무슨 생각한지도 정말 진심인지도 Guess like I've never guessed before 나 좋아하는 건 맞아 친구들이 다들 바보래 사랑 표현 못한 벙어리 한 번도 안 해봐서 어떡해 Honestly Cause 1, 2, 3 중요한 건 you and me 내 곁에만 있다면 Baby can't you see 자꾸 쳐다보면 말이라도 걸어봐 속마음을 표현해 I know we're gonna be alright 손이라도 잡을까 품에 안겨볼까 Whatever your love language I know we're gonna be alright I know we're gonna
Untuk saya, motivasi tidak datang begitu saja dengan cepat. Karena kehilangan mama saya adalah hal terbesar bagi hidup saya, yang mengubah hidup saya. Dramatis, 180 derajat. Mungkin prinsip saya saat itu adalah jalani saja hidup, jika tidak dunia akan meninggalkanmu. Jadi, dan saat itu juga Toji teman saya memberi saya kesempatan dan menurut saya itu tidak datang 2 kali, jadi saya ya sudah ambil aja gitu. Jadi saya memulai karir saya sebagai pro. Mungkin motivasi saya kembali setelah kami sebagai tim The Last Dance lolos ke turnamen APL South. Dari situlah motivasi saya sangat terpacu dan saya sangat ingin untuk pergi ke luar negeri, turnamen. Dari situlah saya sangat semangat lagi untuk menjadi pro. Bangga pasti saya bangga, tapi saya tidak akan berhenti di situ saja. Saya sangat bersemangat dan senang untuk tahun 2025. Saya sangat menantikan tahun 2025 karena menurut saya timnya banyak yang bagus, banyak tim-tim keren.
What does music mean to you?
Menurut saya musik adalah segalanya. Itu adalah sebagian dari hidup saya. Mungkin bisa dibilang 11-12 sama bermain game, tapi menurut saya musik lebih ke mungkin intimate. Mungkin itulah cara saya mendapatkan ketenangan, mendapatkan kesenangan, kesedihan, semua ada. Semua emosi saya ada bersama musik. Jadi menurut saya musik adalah segalanya. Sangat ingin punya salah satu anaknya untuk menjadi seorang penyanyi. Jadi setelah saya selesai dengan pro career, lanjut menjadi penyanyi. Peran musik dan TikTok itu sangat besar bagi saya.
You know how they say it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
gonna end bad. When my body only moves for the beat. Y'all been waiting for me. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. When I hear it coming up like that, I just know that things are gonna end bad. When my body only moves for the beat. Y'all been waiting for me. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just drop like I'll just la 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 la. I'll just drop like I'll just la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la.
So we return to the lower bracket final here for the Asia Pacific League, the Asia variant. Weibo Gaming losing on Chalet despite having 4 map point rounds, essentially. 2 in regulation and 2 in overtime. Seoul's Heart, to their credit, really switched on towards the end. They actually won 4 of the last 5 rounds, guys, so they really did bring their form towards the back end of Chalet. It was a map, though, I think, well, we could definitely say both teams certainly could have played better, and well, I guess in this instance it's Weibo that will be kicking themselves for allowing Seoul's Heart to take that map in what was a scrappy affair. It was an 8-7 victory for Seoul's Heart. Now we head to Cafe, map pick for Weibo Gaming, and now their tournament is on the line, and the ramifications really, if you lose this series, you walk away with 50 SI points and that's it. A little bit of money. But in the grand picture of 6 Invitational and the big events, 50 SI points leaves you really far behind.
Yeah, will leave you vulnerable heading into the rest of the stage, and also means you're far from a guarantee of making regional finals on top of that as well, which has actually quite a significant prize pool for this particular season. So very much big stakes here on map number 2 for both rosters, as we alluded to, and I still stand by this point. Weibo with a higher skill ceiling to grow into, and I think will probably thrive a little bit more in Cafe, given it is their map selection. And the stats and the preferences in terms of vetoes throughout the stage so far suggesting that, but Seoul's Heart have shown a lot of heart throughout the stage, and I'm sure will not go down without a fight. They're probably building quite a bit of confidence as well after being able to take down Weibo, a team which they certainly would have respected heading into the day.
So I'm just waiting here for you to have a look at here. I need you to stay on for 2 seconds.
Okay, I can do that.
So who's the best entry player in the region? Who's number 1?
Looks like Reap's 96.
Yeah, 25 and 13, so plus 12.
Okay.
Yep. How did he go last game?
0-5. I don't know. That sounds like fake news.
It's not. It is the reality.
Yeah, he lost 2 duels in the first half, 2 in the second. Well, that's 4, so I don't know where the...
Yeah, I don't actually... Well, no, the 5th one, because in the last round, I guess it's...
Oh, because of the TK? It's
TK,
kind of thrown it off a bit, maybe.
Yeah. Either way, we move on to Cafe, and kind of what I'm suggesting is for a player of Reaps' capability, and honestly for Weibo, they need him fit and firing. Speakeasy led for Weibo on Chalet 13-11. He was the only one that went positive, so they're going to need a little bit more help for him and the team. Salzart will start defense, which is really good for them off the back of winning Chalet. They get the more comfortable side on Cafe to begin, try and build some form. Mark, of course, for those that missed earlier, is Plod Meow. Had some account issues and has had some position issues over towards Pixel, then into Washrooms, and Hoven with the clear-out kill. Speakeasy was down temporarily, then got brought back up. Turd with an entry on the Nook, gets the kill onto Scatman. And so far, so good for Weibo. They've come out of the break with a bit of a vengeance, and they've really nailed home this opening round. Some real clinical attacking siege. And DCH will be a nuisance, but he's not winning this one.
The most dominant Weibo attack back on map number 1 saw 3 players alive. Yeah. Not even a 4th, but on this time, that will be the case.
Straight off the bat.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the situation with Weibo is they're just going to go one or two ways here. They're going to really lock in, and they're just going to absolutely steamroll on Cafe and head to Border.
I'm anticipating this one to be a little bit more of a formality compared to map 1.
Or, if Soul's Heart can be competitive, especially in this first half, Weibo could have that tendency of, dropping their heads a little bit.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Bit of a fast start, though, leaves us now straight off into the second round. No contest from Soul's Heart on any of those entry engagements. And overall, a quick round for Weibo on Bar Cocktail. We're talking about a very, very early opening kill, just under the 2-minute mark, into a 120 plant, which really would have been a 130 plant if it wasn't for DCH.
We're talking about a 20-second window there where they just went ham.
Reinforcement complete!
It's one thing you don't want to allow if you are Soul's Heart is for Weibo to get their confidence, build that up, go into the final map. These two teams have now completed 5 maps against each other in this entire stage. It's a 3-2 lead now for Weibo. 3-1 coming into this series, but losing out. So the only maps that Weibo have actually lost to Soul's Heart have actually been in overtime 8-7. Which is a pretty funny statistic.
Yeah.
You go back to the upper bracket semi-final a couple of weeks ago, and it was an 8-7 win on Labs in favor of Soul's Heart, and then to begin this lower bracket final, an 8-7 win for Soul's Heart. That one on Chalet. But whenever Weibo have won their maps, they've won them quite convincingly, like 7-3, 7-5. So Blitz employed this round for Weibo. I figured the pace was good in the previous round. They're pretty nearly all right, and they're going to try and close off VIP to facilitate that blitz. And so far, this has actually worked really nicely. Scatman does find the early pick, and with these smokes going out, Outplay just trying to make sure, okay, is there any nitros coming? There it is, thrown quite literally into the kitchen sink. That's a bullseye. Another one thrown for good measure. That does get the kill. And slight advantage now for Soul's Heart. Weibo early aggression again with the pace, and I liked the idea with the Royora gate to block off VIP, slip in towards Freezer, go for a quick plan at the sinks, but it hasn't quite worked out, and now Turd and Reaps need to navigate a 2v3 scenario.
Yeah, good nitro denial there from Soul's Heart, maintaining pressure in the round and keeping up with the tempo that Weibo seemed pretty confident in trying to employ here on Cafe. Round not over though. Turd with the potential here for a multi with the LMG. Doesn't dislodge anyone to the left.
Still got a drone that he can throw out, get some really quick information. So if he kind of tucks in towards Freezer, Reaps is over towards Bar. There's that drone from Turd. He clears left side, right side. There's one close right. That is a good reaction from Turd. Realized immediately where that position was of Scatman. Shoots his head clean off, and a good start for Turd after he had a rather poor game on Chalet. He wasn't the only one by the end of it, though. Reaps does also know there's a player towards Kochak, so you've got at least info on one. They're not quite sure where DCH is, though.
There's a Veltcam kitch cooking, too, which could compromise things and make this push very difficult.
Big kill from Reaps. And now the last one's in Kochak, so Turd can go and get this diffuser.
Should be a cross plant here, pretty simple stuff.
Reaps just has to hold this angle and not allow Mr. Punch out. He kind of did, and the Boss G does its thing. And Turd now on a 1v2. He's got an adrenal surge. He goes for the first plant, then the second. But he's just faked on both of those, and Mr. Punch has now been able to reposition. Does have an impact available.
Turd does have time here, 15 on the clock, and Punch will push forward, catches him to the side. Will res, but immediately slain. Soul's Heart, claim round 2.
Yeah, I mean, just a poorly played end of round in terms of Turd and Reaps allowing the push out of Kochak. And as soon as it came down to a 2v1, you know he's in Kochak. Like, go get the kit, find a safe position, get the plant down. And it just felt like they just didn't... They started to fumble towards the end of that round. And it was really nicely played from Mr. Punch in a 2v1. When you're stuck in that hard position to push out, find the kills. That is a huge, huge round win for Soul's Heart. Weibo will be kicking themselves, and that's been the common theme so far in this lower bracket. They know full well they've done a lot right, but they're also doing a lot wrong. Those are the rounds you need to be capitalizing on to really nail home an early advantage on the attack of Cafe. It would have been a 2-0 start. It would have been the dream start after losing the opening map, and they give Soul's Heart a way back in. 1-1, all tied up as we will head over to Reading and Fireplace for this third round. Top floor extension for Soul's Heart. So far, so conventional. Slight change up for Turd, who'll go to the ace.
Attackers objective.
So another tester then for Weibo. Another advantageous position has gone against them, and so mental resilience continues to be a theme throughout this series.
We go back to Chalet, talk about multi-kills. So in that last round, we saw obviously a clutch from Mr. Punch. He got a 3K and a 1v2 in that round. You go back to Chalet.
Was it 7 or 8 occasions?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3Ks or better for Soul's Heart players. Only 3 for Weibo Gaming. So there's the difference. And then you start Cafe and that continues over. That's concerning. Different map, same kind of results happening already. Only 2 rounds in. Ping information. And to Mr. Punch, playing towards Freezer. Reaps trying to see if someone wants to go for the peek out from Cocktail. It is Mark on the other end of that. No movement. Oh, finds a good angle. But Mark stays alive and he's playing the dock, so back to full health.
Normally back in Reaps to take those opportunities.
DCH has got a good flank here. No one was watching it, but Hoven turned around at the right time. Mark does find the pick onto Turd, got traded though. Now the advantage for Weibo has been established, doing a decent job of clearing top floor. They've done that now. So it's a second floor hold for the 3 remaining members of Soul's Heart.
Yeah, vert control now as well, so they can get to work in that department. Flank will be challenging, Nomad on the board. DCH probably won't want to tempt Fado towards right again. That's probably too risky, so they need to contest from below, and at least I9 finds one.
That Nitro's still there, by the way, and it's been brought back down by Scatman.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to just quickly rush to go pick it up. Wants to, of course, watch the vert. And he's been able to get away with that Nitro. That's a big piece of utility back in being able to stop a default plant, for example. Vulcan Canister just got popped. That was by the shock drone of Hoven. 45 seconds, so indicating that they do want to go for this reading default plant. Drop down into Pillar will probably be their go-to. Throw the smokes in, go for the default plant. But you've got Impacts, you've got Nitrocell, you've got Gas Babe. So you can deny this if you're Soul's Heart in a 3v3. Weibo need to do a lot more than just try and hope for the default plant to be successful. Gas Babe to stop, the initial push in, playing the time really well. There's 2 more. I9 can just keep throwing this at the doorway.
Yeah, it's probably going to be up to Reaps for the back here to flood that particular position and dislodge I9.
DCH also providing a bit of pressure, opening up that wall, saying, hey, I can actually now flank you on Pillar. DCH does not need to peek this just yet. There's 10 seconds. They haven't made the push in. Now, reading plant going in. It's not quite default. It is a little bit more shallow, and it's not in the gas grave. No nitro thrown because Scatman's not there. It's too late. Throws it too deep as well. He's up close to the close right. Whoa, what a shot, though. In the smoke, finds the headshot. But you've got top floor. That's Reaps in Cocktail. Shotgun from Scatman, wants to open up a little bit more of an angle, and it gets the kill as well, not just the floorboard stun. DCH 1v1, but again, the rounds that Weibo need to be winning are these. You've still got Uppe, full health. DCH is low, up above, and he can't find Uppe, who's holding his position nicely, gets the drop, gets the kill. Weibo finally convert.
Sigh of relief for Weibo, another round. So close. I think the big difference maker there was the shallow plant position in respect to the smoke. It was a really smart decision, and whilst it was eventually traded out, in combination with the vert above, where the Reaps wasted just enough time, and then the hold over towards Pillar, it was quite well played from a very difficult position, it must be said, from Weibo. Decisive action taken, and I'll be quite relieved that they were able to win that one out. Otherwise, I tell you what, if they had ended up losing that in the post especially, that would have been rough.
It would have been rough. So Valkyrie banned out, Lion banned out. We've seen the Lion used twice so far in this first half. Valkyrie usage also the same amount. Well, I thought when I9 got that kill, 3v3, and with the utility that they had available, that Soul's Heart were probably better set in being able to deny. But once the plant actually goes down and you've got a player above, then it's Weibo that should be winning it. And then the fact that it comes to a 1v1, probably fitting, both teams having good opportunities in that round. So 2-1 lead for Weibo, certainly looking a little bit better here on Cafe, which is probably not too much of a surprise considering they did pick this map, but I think just the general play, they're finding it a little bit easier, getting in and around these plant positions, so that's now 2 rounds they've been able to find in the opening 3 where you get the plant down. They did get 2 on Chalet. Those were the only 2 rounds that actually saw plants on Chalet.
5 seconds to go.
Wall reinforced.
Attackers are
They
heading
did win those rounds.
Reloading. All set. Benchy deployed. Keep us strikes true. Barrier deployed. Reload.
So it's above then for the 4th round, and the additional bans, I don't know if you noted them, but they are the Valkyrie and the Lion in play, or out of play. So the Valkyrie utilized on 2 occasions, and on the flip side, Lion has been a mainstay for Reach essentially throughout the stage. It has been his most popular attacking operator, and the DMR is just so frustrating to play against with a player of that caliber. So I quite like that target from Souls. And we just give them a little bit more unrestricted movement as well later on in the round with no Lion scans to contend with. Reaps does exchange that out for the info gathering tool though of the Grim, which can be sometimes even more effective in dislodging particular positions. Good, example there with Mr. Punch falling off.
DCH going to be the first one to fall. Intriguing hold right now, though, from Soul's Heart. They're completely giving up Washroom's pixel, that white corridor position, nice. Which is where Hoven has just been able to walk into. They've left that side of the map really, really vulnerable, especially for a top-floor defense. It's an intriguing
Is that a pre-place from Scatman below, maybe, that I saw there? Maybe catching the tail end of that. I think it was over towards Trash.
Does he know that he's at planks? Mr. Punch. There is one very much close right here, top white. The site is largely theirs for Weibo, and that's why they're getting the plant down in bar, and it's deep bar as well. So Scatman's gone for a flank, but the plant has gone down. Soul's Heart have defended this site largely off it, which is strange for Bar Cocktail. And Weibo have been able to punish them. Round's not done yet. 2v2. Reaps also very, very low. I9 called over towards top white. Into Cigar Lounge goes Turd. And he's able to win his battle against Scatman, and in the end, it was all too easy for Weibo because Soul's Heart played that awfully. Just let them take the side for free.
Yeah, it's really unconventional. You can only really play that playstyle with really active information and the denial from below, and they didn't really have either on that instance that I could tell. Post-plant positions as well was strong.
Yeah, it was... so it was when I was watching it at the start of the round, so nothing towards washrooms, nothing towards Pixel. They had plays towards Pillar, and then eventually pushed off-site and played red stairs, white stairs, and I guess maybe wanted to try and play a pinch where it's like, we'll give you sight, but then we're going to come in from both angles on the retake. But it's a strange way to play Bar Cocktail. Rightfully punished by Weibo. Probably one of the cleaner rounds from them. In fact, I would imagine you consider the opening round, which was that fast-paced, super heavy rush from Weibo. Bar Cocktail has just been won really easily both times for them. That's a concern for Soul's Heart. And so far, the map itself is playing out to be a concern because they've only got one defensive round so far on Cafe. But I like the caveat, in Asia, this is the 5th time we're seeing Cafe, guys. It's actually got a 57% attacker win rate. Like, this map in Asia is statistically the most attacker-sided map. Gone are the days of heavy defense Cafe.
I'd love to be able to break that down in terms of how many plants there's been as well on this map, because every round win so far from Weibo has been off the back of a plant. 2 from Reaps, and then we saw that late plant from Hoven in Reading.
You think about Bar Cocktail is usually a site where it can be very difficult to get plants down.
There's no one on the 3rd floor, so
that helps.
A little bit easier. So it's the sense in play for round 5.
I9 being death marked out by Turd. He's been a little bit more impactful here on Cafe. Good for him. So is Reaps as well, now 5 and 2. And speaking of Reaps, and he shall appear. Finds the opening pit. Scatman though, shotgun to the body of Ape. Deals with the twitch, and so that opening kill traded pretty quickly. Chance gone begging for I9.
Target acquired.
Reaps also has a chance. They both had a decent chance in this exchange, and Reaps can't find the kill onto I9, but as he was running back towards White Stairs, he had already been cut off by Hoven. Good clear from Weibo. They deal with the Mozzie really nicely. Mark very low. Weibo now very much set up in this round. Losing all of these fights. The site, by the way, is again just completely open. I mean, in the sense you've got Coat Check, Small Bacon Bar, but not a lot stopping you from just walking into this site right now. And it's not exactly as if this is like a very heavy composition by Weibo. More of a clear composition.
This is not being actively watched by Weibo, by the way, this flank.
Oh, Mark, can he find a timing? Well, he gets the down. Let's try and throw the gas babe in, already crawling away. He's going to get brought back up. Mark gets nothing for that.
And he uses Scatman Nitro.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a big piece of utility to confirm a down player.
He's almost a bit unlucky not to get 2 there on the immediate res attempt, right? Like, there was a small delay there from Weibo, and it's actually saved them a little bit.
No more gas babes now for Mark, by the way. Down to the last 30 seconds. Looking to try and stall out Vulcan canister pop at a good time here for the freezer drop to Nile. And another one as well by Scatman.
So just will subside, though.
3v3. ROU is still available for Reaps. Mark is also repositioned back over towards Bar. Not a lot of time left. There come the ROUs. The drop down as well. Scatman times the drop perfectly. Down to just Turd. He gets swatted as well. And Soul's Heart will get themselves a second round. In the end, it just came down to the fact there was still so much utility in and around Freezer that had not been dealt with. And also, in the end, that down onto Speakeasy on the flank from Mark did prove to be a difference maker. Even if it did take a Nitrocell to get the confirmation. And still, 3-2, Soul's Heart. There's a second defensive round. And if this map does end up playing to be attacker-sided, so far, so good.
Yeah.
Which goes against everything I know about Cafe over the last 5 years of Siege. But here we are. And it is Asia, so yeah. Been a lot of funny things today when it comes to stats and records and history and all of those things. It's been very much thrown out the window.
Yeah. Final round then of the half. And the first appearance, just confirming, yeah, first appearance of the Monty in this half as well. So Speakeasy to bring that for this reading objective. Maybe looking to facilitate some more expedited map control Of course, it took Weibo quite a while, in fact, very, very late into the round to get that plant down last time out. There's only 2 seconds left in the clock.
Bomb.
And they ran the risk of being completely locked out of the site with the denial utility that was on the board. A large part of that was the smoke, in fact, but it's not going to be brought this time around from Soul's Heart. Instead, electing to play the Banshees, really the main difference maker, the Malusi, which can be scattered across maybe from the top floor to maybe aid those over towards Cocktail, for instance. Maybe I've shown really good prowess in dismantling that. They're looking very comfortable on repel play at the moment, and I think especially with the reworks here on Cafe, that is going to be rewarded. Shaping up on the repel currently is Reaps. Flip side Turd to drone lounge across. So already that defense is being backed up into a bit of a corner currently. 2-man hold. Patience at the moment. I9, oh, that wasn't patient. Goes searching and actually does dislodge Reaps. It is traded, but I think that's
a good trade. Yeah, absolutely.
Reaps has looked increasingly more dangerous as the series progresses, and the Grim utility always welcome.
And the Malusi, I mean, I didn't see if I9 had used all of the Banshees, but I imagine he did. That's very much job done. 90 seconds as well now. And without your star fragger, things get a little bit more difficult. Throw in the loss of Hoven, and the difficulty scaling continues. Soul's Heart looking to tie things up here at the half, 3-3 on a, what is it, attacker-sided map statistically in this region. Well, set them up very nicely. Getting it's never a guarantee. Easy on the sledge, looking to open up these floor ports to find some angles, but no one presenting right now for Soul's Heart.
I feel like I'm watching Mentalist in the background more than
there's a freebie.
Yeah.
Absolute freebie. So there you go. You keep plugging away. Eventually you're going to strike gold, and that's what Speakeasy's been able to find on the sledge. Oh, he might find another one as well. Or at least cause him to keep running around. So they've somewhat cleared out the site.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't necessarily cleared out horizontally across, though.
And DCH is looking for a brown flank. That could be one of the biggest difference makers in this round, but Abe seemingly conscious of that potential. 30 seconds.
Still going to have to go rather default, but no Nitro Cells that need to be contended with, at the very least, if you are Weibo.
It's a double stack commit here from Soul's
It's
Heart.
a freebie, but no!
DCH.
Oh! DCH! He too can't find the kill either! Soul's Heart have completely fumbled really good positions, and the opportunity to tie the half has been squandered. Weibo go 4-2 up. Soul's Heart, what was that? That's a choke job. Just panicked, went too early, could have held position. Wanted to catch him on the drop, missed the shots. And then DCH misses the shots on the brownstairs flank. That's what it comes down to. You just miss your shots.
Yeah, I'd have to see the replay file to actually
If those
confirm.
2 players die outside of reading, the round's done.
Yeah, I'd want to check the file to see if Weibo had info, but based on that body language, I don't think they did. That was intriguing. Opportunity presented, and Soul's Heart on that occasion do not capitalize at the conclusion of the half. Then it's a 4-2 scoreline, and Weibo will be somewhat comfortable, but given the statistical nature of the map, they're far from out of trouble. Second wave of bans to follow. It's Blitz and BB on attacks, a double shield, and defense utility heavy with the mirror and the castle. It was a great start for Soul's Heart. Reaps off the board first. It's not every day of the week you get to say that.
Well, here is this moment. Yeah, I mean...
They're watching a White Corridor and Cigar Shop. They had no idea.
I'm pretty certain Ape was actually watching more towards the pillar side and then has just noticed him coming up brownstairs and switched over. No air jab there either. Strange series these 2 teams are putting on right now. And a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes, a lot of breakdown of fundamentals.
This is mining in play, correct, for round number 7. Am I saying that correctly?
You are correct.
Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
This has become increasingly more popular, especially at a more international level on teams of a higher skill ceiling. We'll have to go mining, opening up cafe defenses.
It sets the tone early. I mean, if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. You're 4-2 up. You can go to the more conventional sites. You win it, though. Yeah. You're 5-2 up, and you've still got the more conventional sites that set you up to pretty much close the map out.
And especially in this kind of meta in this region as well, it is a site that lends itself into being, let's just contest every part of the map and run around and try to outfrag and find that opening pick pretty aggressively. So
probably plays into the strengths of Weibo to a core as well. 3-3, by the way, split in terms of the opening kills in that first half, but it was 2 missed rounds, though, for Soul's Heart. Only the single missed round for Weibo in terms of converting. Soul's Heart did a lot right, and they probably should have at least tied things up 3-3. They do not find that. Now must go on the attack themselves and show us if this is indeed attacker-sided or not. We get to find out. Got to remember as well, back on Chalet, Soul's Heart were very slow in the majority of their attacking rounds. I said the majority, not all of them. They had some pace at times when they wanted to go faster. Cafe certainly a map that can see teams naturally stalled out. Free Velcam, good information.
Oh, the speakeasy go for that?
Nitrous always going to miss it. Somewhat of the issue when you are the one operating the camera and then having to play off it, you're going to miss the timing.
Still hasn't been spotted, no IQ in play. He's trying to trick the hatch, and Speakeasy looking to deny that, but unsuccessful, and pushing out upon his position.
Yeah, not really capitalizing on that Val camera so far. DCH
straight into the smoke.
Vaults straight into the gas bay. And so far, it's been all pretty much happy-go-lucky for Weibo. I mean, again, it's just not really been the highest quality of Siege in this lower bracket final. That might sound negative, but it's just the reality of what I'm watching. It's just sloppy, it's messy, it's all around the action, and maybe a symptom of the mining side itself, but just a rather poor attack by Soul's Heart. 5-2.
Yeah, the side pretty much played out as I expected, especially with the Vulcan play and no direct counter. Weibo could quite literally run around the map with a lot of freedom. And once it was identified pretty early there from Speakeasy, it was essentially a 1D attack from Red Stairs. It was like, yeah, we're chilling.
1 and 6 for DCH, having a stinker here on Cafe. But it means for Weibo, well, they can start to maybe turn their eyes to the map of Border very, very soon. Not just yet, 5-2 up, timeout for Soul's Heart. But Weibo have looked certainly improved on this map.
Whoever made my chicken bowl, by the way, deserves a raise. I've been eating this since the beginning of the match, and I'm only halfway through. There's a lot of chicken there. Whoa.
Well, you know what? At this point, I'm rooting for Weibo so I can go eat my
You didn't grab yours. You went locked in.
So we head down to kitchen. First floor we go. Weibo.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
looking quite ominous for Soul's Heart. Coming out of the tactical timeout, dare I say, must-win round. Keep the scoreboard close, otherwise 6-2 becomes a blowout, and you probably then just think about, all right, move on to the next map. GG, go next.
Yeah. To be fair, probably the expectation, I think, on Cafe was very realistically going to be, maybe not ultra-dominant, but still a pretty conclusive victory for Weibo, and it seems to be shaping up that way. Early days, they're still second half.
Well, I would agree with that sentiment prior to Chalet, but then when we saw Chalet in the way that the game was developing and the play style and the form, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, a bit of a scrappy kind of game.
Like, as we were kind of, I think, implying, it was a Weibo playing at 70%.
Exactly.
This is Weibo playing maybe closer to like an 85, 90%.
Coming into Cafe, it's like, well, are they going to keep playing at 70%? Maybe they drop to 60%. Like,
that claw tech, though, what is that? Can we get a look at that from the outside? I actually want to see what that looks like. Is it hard to see? No, it is not. Oh, they didn't get it, though. And it's the IQ to run straight past. That's going to be very intriguing if that impacts the late round.
I mean, the IQ is just... Oh, got it immediately. Good camera work.
Good claw.
I mean, the FOV of the IQ scanner there, I mean, you don't even have to look directly at it. You're just naturally going to see it ping as you kind of like look down in that direction.
the IQ potentially brought as a counter into the Valk, but that will not be presented in this round from Weibo. They've played it back on round 7, and they have a really good read as to what the attack was shaping up for. They're not afforded this tool this time around. It's a little bit more emphasis on Platinol late, and Turd on the vigil for roam early. Actually currently in kitchen at the moment, which is a bit of an intriguing position to be playing on a kitchen defense.
Just looking at the overall numbers so far as well in terms of both maps combined. 24 kills for Scatman, leads all comers. Speakeasy has 20. But yeah, Scatman is putting on a show. 132 EPS, by the way. 24-14, 3-0 entry, 77% cost, and a KPR of 1.09. 36% survival rate. He's pretty much done it all so far. On the ace right now, opening up multiple walls. Again, the slow nature attack of Cafe combined with the slow nature attack of Soul's Heart ends up being a round where nothing has really transpired just yet outside of getting to work on these floorboards, maintaining vert, not being able to find any picks onto Weibo. In fact, it's Turd that finds the pick onto I9, who has continued to struggle in this lower bracket final.
Well, they're probably shaping coffee, but 30 seconds, player down, and not great util for the VIP player. Concerned.
Logic Bomb rings out, but it does not sway Reaps at all from contesting, and this attack from Soul's Heart, a complete breakdown coming out of a tactical timeout. It's flawless, but it's the other way to Weibo, 6-2 up, and it feels as if border is all but a certainty here. And certainly more clinical from Weibo, less mistakes, they look a little bit more well-rounded on this map. They're also starting to dominate the entry battle, which is obviously a big strength of theirs. They're the best team in the region when it comes to opening kills. So they've been able to now have 4 of the last 5 rounds where they've been able to win that statistic. They've now won 5 of the last 6 rounds overall. I mean, this has just become quite a beatdown on Cafe. They've definitely upped their form a little bit, and I still think there's actually more headroom. And this is kind of what we were saying on Chalet. Both teams could have played Chalet better. Weibo, though, probably a good 40% better. Maybe Soul's Heart only 20% better. And what we're getting on Cafe feels like Weibo, there's maybe a 20% buffer increase. And I still think they've got more room, and I think they will also still need more in that grand final if they can get there against Elevate. Soul's Heart certainly as well. A better performance from Reaps, though, now up to a 143 EPS. He closed out Chalet, opening map with an 84. Not quite doubling his EPS, but closer in that nature than anything.
And the KPR over 1, which has been a key metric for his performance this stage as well.
Attackers are moving out to locate
without having any...
And he's had 2 plants.
Yeah, which is...
which is not really supposed to be his job.
That's probably been his biggest highlights.
Multifaceted.
Yeah. I wonder how many has he had this stage? Had 3 plants this stage.
Is that including...
Heading into the day.
Heading in.
I don't believe it's including today.
Scatman on the Montang to help facilitate entry for Soul's Heart. The entry hasn't really been their big issue. It's probably been more the actual execution. The late round moments from Soul's Heart so far to begin this half just haven't really ever looked likely. When we talk about like players alive in the last 2 rounds, so when we're looking at this half, 4 and 5. So, there's just basically been nothing from Soul's Heart on the attack.
And the 2 defensive wins from Soul's Heart were 1 and 2 respectively alive.
And the wins for Weibo, 4, 1, 2, and 3. So when you kind of take the 4, the 3, the 4, the 5, and even the 2, it's been pretty comfortable.
Quite decisive, yeah.
Sets us up nicely going into border. Weibo will take the form of winning the second map into the third and final map of this lower bracket final. Elevate will have to wait an hour longer. Of course, it's not over yet. We've seen comebacks before, but so far nothing indicating that Soul's Heart have got what it takes on Cafe, so they'll have to show us now in this round and the next and the next. I'm falling asleep watching Soul's Heart attack Cafe.
Yeah, hopefully the second wave of util clearance is a little bit more successful. The shock drone did get quite a bit of catch Reapsfield's pressure falls back, so I mean, that's pretty good. They should now be able to get some lounge control. Alpe, though, is lurking backstore. Still has line of sight. Should be a kill. But the shield's still standing.
Shield, yeah.
I have one grenade to clear it, 2 Ash charges.
Yeah, but they're on the roof.
The pacing is a lot
There's 40
slower.
seconds left.
This is winding the clock back style, Cafe.
Oh, man. They can still win this, but boy, are they leaving themselves no room for error. Frag grenade thrown.
You got to kill him there. That has to be a kill.
Doesn't get the player, but it does get that deployable shield. Little flank here from Arpe, successful. Kills DCH. Montang in towards Bart, has the kit, tries to get into the face of Arpe and pulls out the pistol. Scatman, nicely done, and Weibo fall like flies. So that slow pace attack from Soul's Heart will pay off. Yeah. We may not like it, it may not be the most entertaining siege, but it's successful. They get the round win, and that's all that matters. 6-3, job's not done, Weibo.
The nade onto Arpe and then they don't hold the exit and then they still get away with that round is insane to me.
It's just Bar Cocktail in a nutshell. If you don't have someone on a red stairs flank, you just have pretty much like no real counter-aggression potential.
It's very reliant on the backline winning fights, and that can be tricky defense with the scope metal.
Especially also with the Montang up as well. Well, the Montang not going to be there.
Mute ban intriguing, may open up more Deimos play. We haven't seen Deimos at all in the hub.
That was the only round that the Montang was actually brought. So it's kind of like, well, we've banned the shields. They brought a shield. The shield was good. It got them around. Yeah, we're going to just ban the shield. Shocking. Shocking revelation in the modern siege. They were going to ban it anyway, even if it didn't get used. Yeah. So reading Fireplace. Round number 10. So is there still a pulse here for Soul's Heart? And they had 3 players alive at the end of that round as well. I mean, we're talking about, there's 45 seconds left to go. That deployable is still up. They've got most of their players on the roof. But that's Bar Cocktail in a nutshell, in that you can do a lot of loitering, but then still hit the site relatively fast. Like, it's not a map control kind of site. You don't need to do a lot around the map. But this one, well, a little bit of a change up now with reading in Fireplace.
And the Valk is back, this time no IQ.
They do have the Twitch available though to deal with some of these Valk cams if they find them. This looks like a rather aggressive Weibo though in the way they're positioning. Like, it's not just a stock standard cocktail hold.
Well, they essentially have one player in every corner of the map with another lurk.
They're all over the place.
Additional lurk, looking to contest every single potential entry point.
And Turd is actually has a very big hold in towards backstore with that deployable shield. So looking to fortify this position, has a player in cocktail. But again, they're giving up that kind of like white corridor pixel side of top floor. Often will watch it from planks. With an opening pick on to Speakeasy, deals with the roaming Mozzie.
He's
inside. This is where it can backfire. Though if you're kind of just playing all around the map, it's like, guys, I got the kill, we're in sight. Like, obviously you do still need to contest up above.
Well, the attack needs to pivot and find a route towards the objective, but in fact, that, I mean, it might not even be a win con now, the plan. The re-attempt to claim site control for Weibo has gone astray.
May as well just stay outside the building, Turd. You're not winning this.
(6-4) scoreline. Still 2 map points remain for Weibo, but their last 2 defensive efforts have been quite weak. They sense that, and a tactical timeout has been called.
So I9 has been involved in 4 of the last 5 opening kills. He's gone 3-1 his way and 1 against him. Been heavily involved. And the last 2 in particular actually on to Speakeasy back to back. So he's now 3-1 on the entry. Speakeasy's 0-2 on the entry. Yeah, it's like esports is a funny old game. And it's Siege especially. Like Weibo's 6-2 up. They are trouncing Soul's Heart for all that's matter. We bring up the stats in terms of like players alive, 4 alive, 5 alive, the flawless after the tactical timeout as well, mind you, in Soul's Heart's tac timeout. Everything basically says, yeah, this one's probably done. And then all of a sudden it's just like bang bang. It's like, and also even in that 9th round, it's that slow round from Soul's Heart, leaving themselves with 30 seconds to hit the site.
And I9 just lurks through Christmas and gets the opener.
And then in this round, it's, yeah, like, well, the previous one. So down 6-4, and suddenly Soul's Heart are within reach. Timeout Weibo. But Soul's Heart are going to have to win 4 rounds consecutively. They've not done that. And neither team has done that in this series. Neither of them have been able to win 4 rounds straight. That is exactly what Soul's Heart now need to do. So I think it's, again, you look at the numbers, you look at the stats, and it really does say this shouldn't likely happen, even if Soul's Heart are at least making a good account for themselves to not just get stomped here on this map. It's been good to see. It sets them up nicely for the next map, but that next map should still be likely.
Weibo returned top floor here. They lost it out round 9. They elect not to go back to fireplace mining. They brought that out first.
Well, I think that if they lose this, they'll just go kitchen last round.
I would imagine so. They could roll the dice and go back to mining, but it's relying on winning a lot of these isolated fights, you know, posturing one player in each corner of the map, and that kind of strategy, at least in the last round, was very unsuccessful. They had a leak in the objective.
Well, one for the observers. I9 certainly one to watch. He's been involved in 4 of the last 5 opening kills of that, as I said before. Obviously on the shock drones right now. But Soul's Heart, well, they can be quite slow with their entries.
Looking to try and get...
oh, hello. Hello.
Some catch.
Sneaky, sneaky. No. Shock drone shot out. Reaps is switched on.
I can hear ADS devices. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're right behind him.
Placed, yeah. Can't quite see on the overhead. I don't know where they are. I can definitely hear them.
I'm confused.
You heard them
Are they
too,
in
right?
washrooms or something? I can hear them like spinning around, like they're active.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah,
okay, cool. I got one.
Better protected from the shock drones in that position and allows for the fallback. Util was still soaked up over towards
It's almost
Pixel.
like Pixel's a red herring, essentially. Like we're going to look like we're defending it, but we don't really care if you take it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how the meta has developed in that particular position. It's another slow wind-up attack here for Soul's Heart. Logic Bomb goes out. Line scan successful, and Hoven. Speakeasy falls first. It's
That's
another
his
opener.
3rd in a row. That's his 3rd opening death in a row for Speakeasy. He's gone from 8-5 to 8-8. And good position, deep I9. Reaps, though, able to find the headshot angle, and that's a good angle from Washrooms. And now they've got the advantage to take this map. It's been really on the cards for the majority of Cafe until this little withstanding hold from Soul's Heart, but it feels like that hold may break. Although, Mr. Punch just keeps things going. BCH knows full well a lot of this pressure towards Backstore, and he gets the kill onto Hoven and the plant down. Soul's Heart are still making this a reality. Down to Ape and Reaps.
Mr. Punch on the roof, though. This round should be over. Should be over.
And Reaps knows that full well, and Scatman as well, for good measure, still in the building, says, don't forget about me. And Reaps doesn't really have the time to go for the res, goes for the fight. It's 3 straight for Soul's Heart. They win the round out of the Weibo tac timeout and are 1 round away from forcing OT. This is starting to get a little bit nerve-wracking for Weibo, and when they head into this round, whether they would admit it or not, they're going to be thinking, shit, if we go to OT here, we could be out of playoffs.
Yeah.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And for a team who coming into the stage, I think many pitched as being
And they're probably going to have
favorites.
double defense, which is probably what you don't want right now.
Yeah, defensively they're having issues.
I didn't have issues before. They started so well in the half. They went 6-2 up. I'm thinking, yeah, we were both thinking this is done.
And then 3 on the trot for Soul's Heart.
Well, 3 on the trot has been done by both teams. As I said before, 4 in a row has not been done in this series. And that's not too surprising when the first map was 8-7, the second map now 6-5. It's been a real close contest. Not a lot separating it, either of the two teams. And so therefore to find 4 rounds straight just doesn't seem like much of a reality. But Soul's Heart looking to do just that now. And if they can complete this round, they carry all the momentum into OT. This is massive right now for Weibo. Can they hold on? And they might be able to with that opening pick from Turd onto Mr. Punch. In the last 5 rounds, they've all been converted, the opening kills for the team that gets it.
This month globally, Kitchen has been the best defensive site here on Cafe, 63%. Certainly far ahead of the other objectives. So,
and they won it flawlessly before.
You can almost forgive and forget the previous 3 rounds if Weibo commit to this cleanly.
And it's the Dockerby as well, so no logic bombs. A little bit less information available for Soul's Heart. Mr. Punch has been playing well. Second for EPS for Soul's Heart here on Cafe, and suddenly puts pressure on the hard breach in Scatman, who's 12-7. He's been their best.
Speak easy on Cam here. Maybe looking for someone to come across and help aid on the clear. He could try and drone out this position, or could just send it.
Oh, he's got the timing as well. The smoke up, but Speak Easy finally turns that opening engagement against I9. It may not have been the first kill in the round, but it felt personal because I9 had him on toes for the last couple, and this is a comeback that's going to come up short. They were 6-2 up, 3 in a row to Soul's Heart, but Weibo finally are able to close this map out. Kitchen has been their safe haven. 2 versus 5s just don't happen on the regular. With 60 seconds to go as well. DCH and Mark will have to play utterly perfect, and that frag grenade was anything but perfect. Bounced off the wall. DCH, half health. Speak Easy, great angle. Probably doesn't even get cleared if I'm all going to be honest. And that's the map done. We head to Border. A 3rd map required in this lower bracket final. They did a lot of the work early on, guys. They went 6-2 up. Certainly some of the better siege that we've seen today from Weibo. And then it also started to collapse, but they hold on by the skin of their teeth. 7-5. I don't know who's going to win Border at this point. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a close one. So we're going to obviously have a bit of time back over to the couch. They'll just obviously chat about this.
Well, mate, I think that's what we're paid to do. I'm pretty sure that's what we're paid to do.
Will
at
we?
least.
Will we chat about this?
I don't know.
Hey, you guys are getting paid?
Do we just throw to a break at this point? Like, do we just finish up our job? No, we have much to do, much to talk about. Because, from my opinion, Weibo's still showing wavering signs at the back end of that map. Obviously, even if you just look at it from face value, from 6-2 up to 7-5, that's not convincing. However, it's more for me about how they got there, Pengu. Weibo looked nigh untouchable in the first 7-8 rounds. Then things start to falter a little bit here. I mean, where is it going wrong for Weibo at the moment?
Yeah, so that's the big thing, right? Going into this, I feel like there were one thing that both teams had to get right. Soul's Heart needed a W on the first map of Chalet. They got that. And then Weibo, they needed a convincing Cafe victory, right? And it looked like it was going to be a convincing one. But then, I'm not exactly sure what the issues were. But there was a moment about the 6-3 scoreline where Weibo would be aggressive in the early stage and fall back and play super passive. And when Weibo gets too passive, that's in Soul's Heart, they find the gap, they find the kill, and they found plants seemingly out of nowhere. I don't exactly know what the philosophy right now is for Weibo, and I don't know what they should do going forward, but I do know that Border fits them more like stylistically as a team. Sure. So I'm not too worried about Cafe because it's in the past, but it just shows us that Soul's Heart can take them down.
They certainly can, and they are looking actually quite good in the series. A couple of stats that you can find interesting, you can take with a grain of salt if you want. Scatman obviously doing phenomenal so far today. Dude. He's on a heater.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, so that map, he was, I think, 12 kills, something like that. Across the whole series, 27 kills, 16 deaths. That's plus 11.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is gnarly. Like, this guy is
pretty
often
good.
in a bit of a supportive role as well. He's a real leadership figure on the team, and he's fragging the hell out. He's top fragging in the game so far, despite obviously losing that map. Yeah, Weibo are looking like the better team at the moment. It was a bit weird. I think what you said right before we went back on camera was, my God, don't bring it back from 6-2 just to lose it at 5-7.
And the way they lost it, it's like a whimper.
Yeah, every now and then that happens. But obviously, like you said, it's Border up next. And that's really what we need to focus on. And the most recent times we saw these teams play Border, it was so exciting, so good, and so hectic. So Weibo lost this map to elevate in the upper bracket final 8-7. Oh, it doesn't get much closer than that. And of course, Soul's Heart, they won this map in the lower bracket against Fury 8-7.
Yeah.
So I think there's only one way that this game is going to go, and it's going to be in combination with a 15-round Border, hopefully. And, you know, even, like we said, even when Soul's Heart are losing their fragging the hell out, I don't see why this isn't going to just be another bloodbath, and I literally reckon just flip a coin.
I can flip many coins for many different things, Dev. I can tell you that. Just very quickly before we get underway with map 3, the final deciding map for the grand final here, Pengu. What should people at home be looking for? I mean, on the back end of Cafe, the last 6 rounds, all of the opening kills were converted into round wins.
Yeah.
What do you think will be an undeniable factor as we head to Border from what we've seen so far?
The simplest one I was going to mention was going to be the opening kill factor, especially a map like Border, where having more bodies against less bodies is advantageous. When you get a kill on the attacking side, you lose so much map control on Border as well. Yeah. More notably, again, I think it's going to come down to who can play better on the attacking side, because defense, both of these two teams, they can usually get the job done. Right? Sure, there's a 4-2 attack in there for Weibo on Cafe, of course. But generally speaking, I do think that both teams are playing great defensive rounds. So it's make or break on the attack. Who can get one round more than the other? Because it's going to be close. We saw it. That comeback was so powerful from Soul's Heart. And I think, yes, it sucks to lose, almost making the comeback happen. Yeah. But I think it's quite good for Soul's Heart, because now they know they can beat Weibo. They look mortal in this matchup. So they're going to go into Border thinking, guys, we got this. Don't worry too much about it.
Look mortal. Will they bleed? That's the big question. Don't mind the pun. If you come for the king, you better damn kill him. Weibo have brought it back in the series, but Soul's Heart, there's something about it. There's something about their heart that is showing that they may well be in the grand final against Elevate. We head to Border after this.
You know how they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
Like it's a game, or what a way to frame me. You're my world 모두 다 스쳐갔던 난 영원한 your generation 놀래 나의 미래 놀래다면 내일을 No Oh it's your generation 새로운 generation It's your generation 새로운 generation 지나온 어제에는 새로운 너를 만나 You're my world 모두 다 스쳐갔던 난 영원한 your generation 놀래 나의 미래 놀래다면 내일을 No Oh it's your generation 새로운 generation It's your generation 새로운 generation It's your generation
Banger after banger, tell 'em Tina, Mina, do it better. Banger after banger, tell me who could even do this better. Banger after banger, tell 'em Tina, Mina, do it better. Banger after banger, tell me who could even do this better.
I can do it better I can do it faster 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can go much longer I am so much stronger 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
They provide me shade and I really thrive on it. 오늘도 역시 괜히 기분이 이상해. Sipping lemonade from my lemon tree honey. Let me spill the tea on all these haters all love me. Broke up all killing it, winning attitude. 당당하게 올라가, see my altitude. 나랑 맞서 싸우면 baby you would lose. If I wasn't me, I get it, I would hit me too.
I can do it better I can do it faster 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can go much longer I am so much stronger 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
자신과의 싸움에서 지면 야구르지. 매일매일 일어나서부터 보는 거지. Look in the mirror, say you're a winner. 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. In a bad mood, 바꿔버려 in a hurry. 꿀꿀한 기분 털어버려, I don't worry. Get through the weather, feeling get better. 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
I can do it better I can do it faster 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can go much longer I am so much stronger 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
So we head into the final map of this lower bracket final for Asia. Border awaits. Weibo, Soul's Heart comes down to a best of one. It's been a close series, 8-7, 7-5. Obviously on Cafe, 6-2 up for Weibo. But Soul's Heart, their little comeback was unfortunately unable to get themselves to overtime. Weibo started 4-1 as well on Chalet, so they had a 4-1 lead and a 6-2 lead. Both of those got evaporated. So maybe don't get too ahead of ourselves if Weibo get out to a good start.
I'm not drawing any. I refuse to draw a conclusion on this match until I see a 7 or an OT win. I will draw conclusions though about the next match, and I think we were all in agreement out there at the studio.
Attackers need to locate and
It's not looking good.
as many bombs as they
Unless
can.
you're an Elevate
If
fan.
I was a betting man, I'd be putting money on Elevate.
Well, sometimes it's a matchup thing.
Yeah, that is true.
And whoever wins this will get that boost of confidence. And I can't help but shake the feeling of kind of what happened last night in Oceania. You know, Ludovico, big win. In some ways, an upset win over Game of Gladiators. And you thought, okay, maybe they can take that into the grand final, but just outclassed, really. And that's my concern, I think, as well for tonight, where whoever wins this, it's going to be a good win, 2-1, tight tussle. But then will they just get outclassed by Elevate, who, again, have just been kind of improving pretty much every single week. Like, I feel like they've just gotten better and better every week.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
I think when we started this stage, it was kind of like it's Weibo's stage to lose, but honestly now on the final day for Asia, it feels like it's Elevate's stage to lose. Weibo just trying to scrape into that grand final position. And remember, whoever loses this map, it's only 50 SI points for the stage. The winner will at least guarantee 150 minimum, as Outplay will be the first one to fall. It's an early peak from Scatman in security. An NS from Outplay, and a TY from Scatman. Ooh. Well, Scatman didn't realize actually Speakeasy was so close on the Monty.
Oh, Reaps is already deep inside as well.
Well, the Cadella's just firing all around him. Speakeasy can go for a plan if he so chooses to in towards Armory. Reaps is obviously trying to keep the defenders at bay. Messes up that smoke a little bit. It's very hectic, but Reaps has come out firing. 3 kills from Reaps, got side control. They did deal with the Montang. DCH makes his way back up towards top main, but that plant will go down successfully. If he had hit that shot, it would have made things interesting, especially with the death marker onto Turd. Not onto Turd, but from Turd, which is, of course, on him as well. But now in a 1v3, and they know exactly where DCH is over towards Archives. They can just play for their lives. There's the swing from the kit of Reaps. He'll get himself a quad. A 4K from Reaps to start on border. That's got to be concerning for Soul's Heart. Even after Scatman got the opening kill, it really just didn't matter. They just walked into the site.
Yeah, I like the mentality shift there from Weibo. They lose the opening kill, and they, instead of getting stalled out and methodically trying to work through the map, which is going to be a challenge, they hit direct. I believe it was Reap's sandwich window had the utility, just sent it. And then responding was really, really tough, especially with no denial from below. So, clean start there from Weibo. No complaints from me on that front. We go over to Tellers then for round number 2. Fans as well in play should be noted is Castle, Azami, BB, and Blitz.
So Weibo have won the opening round on all 3 maps, and they had a 4-2 lead on Cafe, they had a 4-2 lead on Chalet. They start well. It's got to be kind of the concern for Soul's Heart. I mean, but to be fair, it is border and yeah, a good attacking map. It's been played quite a few times in Asia. This will be the 8th time, 54% attacker win rate. Both of these two teams really stretching their map pools in this lower bracket final, playing maps that they haven't really had a lot of time on. Of course, Soul's Heart did win this very map against Fury in the lower bracket quarterfinal.
Did you just say 54 attack?
54% attack.
42% globally.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just point of comparison.
I think every region would probably be a few margins off on average. A couple percent higher or lower based on the global.
This site, though, globally, 50-50. Reaps jumps over to Bravo this round off the back of his opening 4K on the Ying. That will be quite useful against the Valkyrie, especially in combination with the IQ. They can steal that information away. Range is as well vulnerable alongside the double BPC lineup here for defense. On top of that, Reaps gets a comfort weapon in a DMR, which is by far and away been his weapon of choice throughout the stage, but he gets caught. And I don't think that his Clutch drones had much of an opportunity to have impact in this round, so that is a very big pick for Soul's Heart.
I wonder if they've said to Reaps during the break after the second map, coming into border, I mean, it's an open kind of map. We just want you to walk in, be aggressive. If you don't get a kill, that's fine. We'll play behind you and we'll take space. 4 kills in the opening round and then got super aggressive towards these stairs this round, lost his life. But alas, they were able to get a little bit of space from it. 3 versus 4. We'll slow down here, and this is kind of what you said in the previous round. Of course, with Hoven down, he'll get brought back up, so it's a 4v3 that remains. In the previous round, opening pick went the way of Soul's Heart, but Weibo kind of kept that pace going. A little harder to do that now without Reaps. You have no hard breach either. Not that you really need it for Bathroom and Towers. 40 seconds remaining in the round, and I think Soul's Heart will consolidate. They'll play towards the site. They will need to still deal with this Montang. You got a Nitro impact. Obviously, with the IQ, those vault camps have probably been dealt with. So in the bathroom for Speakeasy. Big pick from Holven and Turd.
Okay.
Well, that's a good way to flip the disadvantage into an advantage. Mark going for a flank up main.
Air jab, question mark.
I mean, even is there time. There is one that was in Fountain. Yellow pinged out. They know that flank is coming. Scatman having to defend by himself on site right now, but Mark ended up winning that fight. There's not a lot of time left and pretty much forced to stick to plant now with Speakeasy. And they will allow him to stick this. They'll play together and never really fully allowed it anyway. Shotgun towards the knees and Soul's Heart will take the second round.
Yeah, things got a little bit dicey there at the end. We saw good pressure being established and information relayed from Speakeasy, and then the Vert players up above were able to have impact as the defense scattered, but big flank lane of the piece was enough to dislodge that as we look back at the round.
Well, this is also after Reaps had already died.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent response. Down was not ideal, but a good flank and a really good hold from Scatman as well, who didn't throw his life cheaply and stalled out time for the Legion.
If Scatman dies early in the piece there, the flank from Mark is probably null and void for the most part. That plant would be successful. You play the post plant with the Montang.
Yeah, I mean,
to hold
with a Monty and another player up, that's very difficult, so credit to Scatman.
3 kills for Scatman, and he's been by far and away the best player for Soul's Heart in the series. And that now puts him on 30 kills. He's the only one that's been able to reach that figure, so first to 30, 30 and 17 plus 13. He's 4-0 on opening kill engagements, 76% cost and a 1.03 KPR. The next highest are actually Turd, Reaps and Speakeasy, 0.79. That's correct. I said Turd after he laid a bit of a turd on Chalet. But to be fair, he actually kind of brought it back. So even Chalet, he dropped 10 on Chalet, and on Cafe, Turd was actually statistically their best player, 11 and 6, 2-1 entry, a 100% cost on Cafe. I know there's always a spotlight on Turd in his performance on this team, and at times, you know, he's been dropped and then brought back, and then dropped and then trialed for his spot again, and then got brought back. It's been a whirlwind career for him, but he is actually performing now by the end of this series as their best player at 111 EPS, better than Reaps and better than Speakeasy, and obviously Hoven and Ape. That's, yeah.
Loading new mag.
Speakeasy in the last round did a really good job late round providing pressure and information to help his team in the round, and he'll bring the Monty again here as we go over to Workshop, one of the more challenging sites to defend naturally.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate for Hover. Never even gets to use those logic bombs caught by Mr. Punch.
What's the game plan here from Weibo? Opting for maybe a direct horizontal and a turtle plant, that could be an option.
They've got good horizontal pressure around the site, nothing above. And you've still got Mr. Punch and DCH in Office and Archives. That's a really important pick onto Mark by Reaps. And there's still over a minute left. I think they're chilling. I think they're setting up for a pretty decent round. The only caveat to that is this vert hold.
A lot of vert.
And Scatman's going to have to also play his life really well in vent.
Reaps needs to disrupt above, and I think that's his role now on the Ying.
And while he's doing that, the plane will go down inside a Workshop. Scatman now in towards West Main. And the plane will be successful from Speakeasy. Soul's Heart just didn't really have enough bodies.
DCH was just blind that entire time. Look where he is. He could have denied that plant if he wasn't flashed.
Yeah.
So it's just good basic team play from Weibo.
Really good team play from Weibo. And again, because they had the 4-on-3, they had the numbers to be able to do that kind of split. I mean, Monty post plan is always so difficult. DCH thinking about a stick. Good kill, and he might be able to stick this the whole way, and he will stick this the whole way! Are you kidding me? Even I9 was in disbelief. What was that? In a lower bracket final, third final map of the series, he gets the full counter defuse stick with the Montang still up for the attack.
It was the right play.
Absolutely, it was the right play. He also had really good cover from his teammate.
He wasted just enough time. Weibo did so much good
And there
work
goes the Montang.
to get
So
that,
you don't even get to now play shields for the rest of this half. You've only gotten the one round, and you've played Monty in all 3 rounds.
They've been rather reliant on it. It's been a very effective tool. I think Weibo without a shield now are going to struggle.
I mean, 3 opening kills in a row, defense border. After dominating that same metric on Chalet, now over the course of the entire series, Soul's Heart have taken the strength of Weibo and turned it into their own, giving themselves many 5-on-4 opportunities, not necessarily always converting. They go 2-1 up, but this is going to be a close map. I think it really, when you kind of look at the first 2 maps that we've had, the way we've started here on border, I'm anticipating like 7-5 minimum, and OT looks almost likely. I know I'm going very early on that, but you've got to go off that feeling of what we've seen in this series so far. There's not much separating these 2 teams. The only asterisk I would apply to that is if Soul's Heart go like 4-1 up, Weibo could probably crumble mentally.
Yeah, maybe. They've been decently resilient throughout this series, I think it has to be said. And
yeah, but can you keep testing that resilience, and eventually it's almost like the damn wall that's going to break.
Yeah, there could be a straw that breaks the camel's back. I think they still look pretty focused after that last round, which was a frustrating one to lose. Scatman again, security pillar. Found success onto APL last time out. And so Weibo will need to be a little bit more diligent this time around and clear it more efficiently.
It's the punch on the Vigil. First showing of the Vigil. So his Valkyrie got banned out, now switches over.
Oh, down below, Turd. And Mr. Punch could be in a duel in a moment's time.
Turd wins that battle. Well, he's having a really good border to start, now 5-2. First opening kill found for Weibo on the map.
That will unlock East Stairs as well, but it is being contested by the Fenrir.
Long range angle won by Mark. Spotted the player coming up. Eastairs couldn't get out of that position. Turd able to capitalize. And they get the res onto Ape. It's a 5-on-3. Must be converting these sort of rounds.
Awkward position now for Soul's Heart to find themselves in. They sense the need to make a play, and that's instinctually correct, but doing that here on border can be such a tough challenge. Unlocked sight. Scatman needs to be the one to perform here. Still inside of security. DMR in hand. Has to find a multi. DCH is in assistance over towards 90, so he does have some support. There we go.
Oh, the swing though, the timing from DCH when there was one close and he was expecting to have to battle in towards break. Scatman, oh, good shot with the DMR, and I9 with the shotgun as well. 5-3 advantage, now 2-2. But it's Turd and Reaps. They're the fraggers. They're the ones that have been hitting their shots. That's who you want alive, and rightfully so, says Reaps. Now they got 6 kills apiece. In fact, everyone alive has got 6 kills. Make it 7 though for Scatman. Does he know where Turd is? With 30 seconds, Scatman is firing! Oh!
I called it.
Are you kidding me? They lose the 5-on-3. If that doesn't test your mental, I don't know what does. There's cracks in that damn wall. 3-1 up goes Soul's Heart, and there's that tactical timeout in response. And Gus, that's the earliest we've seen from Weibo across all 3 maps. Look at Speakeasy. I mean, the body language as well. From Ape, from Speakeasy. I mean, Ape is chewing his nails. Speakeasy is looking a little bit bewildered. He's only got the 1 kill. Remember, 50 SI points is all you get for third.
Yeah, you get a pat on the back.
And Turd did a lot in this round. He got the opening kill, and then the follow-up kill as he pushed up East Stairs as well to get Mark. And then he found another kill. Oh, he almost found another kill at the end if he got the 1v1.
Scatman had to be the one to posture for the play. DCH did as best he could to distract, and Scatman popped off. In the meantime, what we didn't catch, and I saw it on the overhead, was the push out from I9 on the Warden was insane as well. He caught one in the hallway as Weibo went for these like strange repositions at the time. I think they were trying to get Scatman, then they detracted focus elsewhere. They were a bit discombobulated during that particular round, and ultimately it proved to be very, very costly.
Without looking, what do you think Scatman's EPS is?
180.
221.
Okay.
He's got a 221 EPS, 8-2, 1-0, 100% cost, and a 2 KPR. Perfect start.
He's posting Reaps numbers.
He is. I mean, Reaps is also posting Reaps numbers. He's 6-2. Turd is 6-3.
Yeah, this has been quite the series.
Border, as we pointed out earlier, is definitely more in favor of attacker side. This is not the start for Weibo.
Such a volatile map, though.
It is.
Things can change so rapidly on Border, especially in terms of tempo and
it can.
Duration of rounds and how that affects momentum and stuff. So
out of the tactical timeout for Weibo. Not going to be putting a must-win label on this round, but it does feel really important. Out of the timeout to avoid the 4-1 deficit.
Has their attack conversion been 0% so far? Did they lose the following rounds on both opening maps? I really wish it was tracked in our API. I'm pretty certain on map 2 they lost because they took it early towards the tail end of campaign. Can't quite remember Chalet. Such an intriguing stat to track from team to team and how they react to those timeouts. Pulse in play round 5.
It's also the best first half from Soul's Heart in the series so far because it was 4-2, 4-2 in favor of Weibo. I9 battling towards top east. He'll go and drop. It's been a rough series for I9. 16-22, lowest performing player on the team. We know how good he can be.
Yeah, consistency has always plagued I9. When he pops off, he can...
He's the kind of player that can be so average in Asia and then go internationally and drop 20. Well, Mark gets the opening pick onto Ape. That's hard breach down. Nitrocell thrown out from DCH. Not sure what information was off of Mark. Almost had a chance onto Hoven. Got a tag into the shoulder. Logic Bomb called out by the Dockerby of Speakeasy. Over at the West Balk. Just over a minute. Drop. Mark will get out of security. Look at the pulse information here from DCH as well in customs. Soul's Heart. They've got their handprint all over this round. Mr. Punch!
Oh, no!
Speakeasy!
No.
Won't be speaking anymore this round. He's 1-4. And Soul's Heart are gaining ascendancy here on the third and final map of this lower bracket final. Weibo. All their hopes now with Turd and Reaps, the only two that have come to the table. But still down a player. Hoven has kit.
Mr. Punch needs to not give away his life for free, and he almost does. Oh, he does ultimately.
Turd!
Okay.
Turd's got 8.
Turd's angry. He's fired up.
Turd does not want to finish third. But it's a 3v3, 30 seconds remaining. They need to avoid this 4-1 deficit, but still got to play the drop. And there's the peak from Mark. Hoven so excruciatingly low.
Oh.
But they find the avenues needed. 2-3 and a response from Weibo that damn wall's not breaking just yet.
Yeah, that's really big from Turd. Soul's Heart presented very, very small windows of opportunity, and he capitalized on every single one of them. They were essentially down and out in this round.
It's a 5v3.
There's been a lot of 5v3s flipped in this series. That shot was freaking insane. Almost dropped the F-bomb there. A minute to go on the clock. The defense has full pulse info on that final push. They still have the vigil flank, and they lose the round.
Yeah, crazy. Credit to Turd, though. Hit some really good shots. He's now 9-3. A 181 EPS from Turd on this map of Border, and it hasn't just been Border where he's performing. He now is the second player to go 30 kills. 30 and 22. He's 6-5 on the entry. 81% cost. Turd has the best cost in the server across all players. And I know on this particular team, when they underperform, he does cop a lot of the blame on the socials. But he's doing his absolute best right now in a do-or-die lower bracket final.
Oh, yeah, he's been the shining light, and a couple of these rounds have been a massive win.
If you wanted to say any, Speakeasy was sensational. If you recall back on Chalet with 13 kills. On Cafe, he had the 10, and so far here he's just got the 1. He's really slowly dropping off a little bit here in this series. Get him onto the Ash and see if you can get Speakeasy involved.
Yeah, I mean, he was trapped on the Monty until it got banned out.
One thing that Weibo have done, I think, a decent job of is this east stairs control.
Yeah, they either keep getting it direct or they go through Passport. Either way, it's been pretty successful.
3 nitros in the round available for Soul's Heart. The one thing for Soul's Heart this time is they're not going to be looking to contest these stairs. Defense Workshop again.
Plodrone's in play. That BPC just placed by I9 under threat. Might breach up above in the meantime, off the back of the ranged ace.
Oh, Turt's thinking about this. Thinking, doing, but missing.
Changing mags.
Thought he had the prime opportunity with the red ping to open up with the skeleton key and hit the shot, and maybe a bit of a heat check as well for him. Speakeasy, though, might just start warming up with that kill onto DCH. 4v4. Final round of the half. Oh, is I9 ready? Well, a slight slow reaction, yet gets the kill anyway. Reap's losing that battle despite firing first shot. Regains the advantage now for Soul's Heart. They go 4 versus 3 into the final minute, although that doesn't last long either, as Halvin is able to shut down I9. Still, 2 nitros available for Soul's Heart. They've got the firepower necessary to squash this attack.
What's the problem-solving skills then like for Weibo? Last of the vert established. Looks like it will be a bathroom drop into a workshop side plant. Oh, lobby not cleared though.
They got no real way to get into this safely, but maybe opened up by Speakeasy. Vault over, established, confirmed. Into bathroom now is the solo Speakeasy. He hits the shot onto Scatman. 1v1 against Mark, 12 seconds. Kit is close by, and he goes for the res onto Hoven. Nitrocell blown, hits nothing. Hoven can go for the plant now. Will do so, covering his Speakeasy. He's not entirely sure where Mark is going to be coming from. Plant is there, and Speakeasy hits some critical shots in that round. He's back. That's a massive round for Speakeasy on an individual level, but for the team aspect, ties things up 3-3, despite the 3-1 start for Soul's Heart. So it was 3-1, tack timeout Weibo, response.
Give Speakeasy the Ash.
Yeah, just
worked out.
It's like, hey guys, I'm struggling here. I'm 1-4. Can I just go play the Ash and shoot people? Yeah, sure. Why not Speakeasy? That certainly was still winnable though for Soul's Heart. And the one concern now as well is, I've been kind of touching on the opening kills and how Soul's Heart have kind of flipped that to their favor in this series. 5 of the 6 rounds, they got the opening pick. They only got 3 round wins.
Yeah.
And the one pick that went the way of Weibo, they didn't actually win that round anyway. So 4 rounds were not converted on the opening kills. 3 of those to Soul's Heart.
Armory and Archives will be the side of choice for the opening defense from Weibo. Bans are Blackbeard, Blitz, Mirror Castle. So that will deviate slightly from what we saw in the first half. The Izami was off the board as opposed to the Mirror. Attacking lineup though, identical. I don't know what Soul's Heart mentality will end up being in this half if they want to play a little bit more methodical. I mean, composition suggesting that will likely be the case. Reteres for util clearance. Twitch as well, so double dedicated drone. in dealing with some of this utility like the Fenrir and the Goyo specifically?
I feel like you don't have an answer to this question, but who wins from here? It's so hard to say.
What are the lottery numbers going to be tonight? I don't know.
It's a good spot to be in from an entertainment perspective, right? Like,
if you're Elevate.
Yeah, I have genuinely no idea who's going to win this game. There's no indication. The series is so close, and therefore, whenever you get into that world, it comes down to those 1vx's. Who is going to be able to perform the best? So far, we've had 2 rounds that came down to 1v1s essentially. You know, Reap with a 4K, Speakeasy with a 4K, Turd with a 3K, Scatman with a 4K. So like pretty much all of the rounds that we've played in the first half had something that really stood out. We're not talking about conventional rounds. We're talking about moments, a player popping off or a 1vx. Weibo were able to get the plant down twice in the opening half. What can Soul's Heart now do on the attack? They get the Monty first up. Turd goes double digits with that opening pick onto Mark. I tell you what, he's warmed up now. And this is going to be the thing. Whoever wins this, and if they can win it in a little bit of a canter towards the end, like if Weibo were able to close this out, how much of that can you take into the grand final if you get there?
Turd to retain position and
what
eventually
an angle
gets
from
caught.
I9. That's a tight angle.
Yeah, uses the protection for Monty. And Turd gets caught out.
I don't mind that, though, from Turd taking those kind of fights and being aggressive and playing contact. He's 10-5. He can do that. Oven dropped out by the Rotero of I9. He's going to play the drop. He's just been given an avenue out of here. Thank you very much, says Hoven. Now come and find me. And it left. Ape clears top main so that Hoven can rotate back up if he so chooses. He'll hold for now. Hoven just holding on the stairs. Reaps is actually prone in security, and they don't look like they know he's here at all. Completely hidden.
They have to be due diligent here. The attack of Soul's Heart if they haven't joined this.
Oh, never mind. Oh! So step up. Montang goes down. Reaps coming out from behind the desk with vengeance. And the attack for Soul's Heart crumbling. Big pick from I9. Struggling a little bit in this series, but could still have a say. Now, Hoven and Ape are both very low, but there's not a lot of time. This is still a relatively even round, but the time factor probably beats out the low HP numbers of Hoven and Ape. Now Soul's Heart need to get moving. Nitro just thrown out in desperation from Speakeasy. No real information. DZH trying to hit the shots. There goes Hoven. That's one of the low players gone down. It's a 1v1, but there's no time. Oh! Oh! Wait, what? What? What the hell? I thought he killed him.
Wait, what? He did.
He did kill him, but I think the time ran out.
I have never
What? Hang on,
seen
we need a slow down replay 0.1%. Hang on.
What?
So he definitely killed him, and that's why you heard me react the way that I did, because I thought he clutched it. Now, from my understanding, it's basically we just play on. That's the game. Like, we need to replay this for ourselves, but this is very much not a case of something's happened and we need to replay or anything, because was there time? Like, I'm so confused. Time definitely ran out. That clock hit 0.
He's killed him right on .00.
So the clock ran out, yeah.
But that should then...
But then he shouldn't be able to kill him.
He should be immune.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like on the same tick he's killed him as the round ending or something.
So he's a tick.
That is bizarre.
I've never seen that before.
Never, ever, ever, ever
That's
seen
why
that.
I was confused, because I saw him get the kill and I thought he clutched it with, 0.01
And then we see
seconds.
defenders in the round.
Yeah, exactly.
What the
Well, I mean, Weibo will take that. Weibo will take that.
That is insane.
And we can confidently say, if there was 0.1 seconds left in that round, Soul's Heart would have won that. It's fine margins here in the lower bracket final. How fitting. One of the crazier ends to a round that we've ever seen. And Weibo now go 3 rounds straight in response to the 3 rounds straight won by Soul's Heart. They went 3-1 up. Now they're 3-4 down.
Swapping mags.
I would have loved to. That would have been a really good round for the player reactions, I'm not going to lie. But I wonder how confused they would have been as well. Holven holding towards Vent.
I challenge anybody to find a round that's ended like that in the history of this
I've never
esport.
seen it. I'm sure it's maybe happened. Somewhere.
Beats me.
Hello. Freebie.
Just when this series can't get any stranger, it gets me.
Oh, I'm losing it.
Oh my goodness. Midpoint of the round and Weibo with the lead.
Well, this is where the mental aspect needs to be tested now for Soul's Heart at 3-1. I was saying it the other way around for Weibo. Weibo have responded beautifully in terms of that department. And they've set themselves up very nicely in this round.
We're still rummaging through the footage in the background, trying to ascertain what the hell just happened in that last
Yeah, it
round.
might be like a Siege X thing, because I definitely have never seen that before. 50 seconds. Logic Bomb activated by Mr. Punch. Turd continues to just get so involved in this lower bracket final. He's been incredibly influential. Feels like you've just noticed him in every single round, and mainly for the good reasons. And there's again another one. Well, we need the Turd cam at this point. I9 forced to drop. Speakeasy gets the free kill, and this is almost flawless. And they have not been able to convert the flawless nature of this round. Reaps will be yellow pinged out and killed. Scatman, who's been playing so well for Soul's Heart, but Turd has been playing better. Turd is on a tear. This might be the best series we've seen from Turdstar for quite some time. And timeout for Soul's Heart as they've given up 4 rounds straight. For the first time in this series, and we've had a 7-8, 7-5, now 5-3, a team has won 4 rounds in a row. This is concerning for Soul's Heart. Turn that music up, baby. Come on. Up. It's a lower bracket final. Oh, okay. 5-3 in favor of Weibo Gaming. Soul's Heart coming out of their tactical timeout must respond here and now.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defeated.
166 EPS now for Turd. 13 and 5, 2-1 on the entry. A 1.63 KPR and an 88% cost here on Border. Outstanding performance. And he's not far off now, challenging Scatman as the MVP of the overall series here in this final. Winner will play Elevate straight after this. And right now, Weibo are 2 rounds away from that being them.
10 seconds left before insertion. Attackers have located the bomb. 5 seconds left.
Okay, so round 9 then, and the Solace to be employed, which has seen little to no playtime at all throughout this series, if I recall correctly.
No, it has not. It's the first time we're going to see the Solace in the entire series. I confidently say that.
Combo that with the Valk, good info gathering tools available, and no IQ for counterplay here. Hovered in a position over towards this waiting room rafters to look for active intelligence on those rounds. And can also look to contest the entry through break. 3 stack on the Valk here from Soul's Heart, likely to now compete for control top east stairs. Not directly held here by Weibo, but they still have the ability to pressure this. Turd over towards Office Wall. You have Reaps 90, Hoven break. So that's going to be a difficult cross to dislodge. They're slowly working away at that. Well, I was going to say difficult to dislodge, and I was
Turd
correct.
again.
Turd's playing this position really well. He did overcommit last time out, though, and got caught on the trade.
That's
so
his
we'll see what
third
happens
opening
this
kill
time.
of the map. 14 and 5.
And he got out on this occasion.
And he gets out. That is a circuit breaker in this round for Soul's Heart. I mean, out of the tactical timeout, you need to find an immediate response. Mark has gone missing on board, and now 4 and 8 trying to get involved on the Ash. It's all down to really Scatman to keep performing at a super high level, but they've put him on the Monty. Your top frag has been put on Shield. I mean, Speakeasy was 1 and 4, gets off the Monty, and he's now 7 and 5. Hello? Let I9 play the bloody Montang. Like they've not really given Scatman the much of an opportunity to frag out. Like he's the one that's feeling it. You got to play into that sometimes, and it's been Monty Ace Monty. If I'm Weibo, I probably would think about, do we even ban the Monty? Because if you ban the Monty, Scatman's going to be with gun in hand. They're going to be 6-3 up. Reaps with a double in the round, and it feels like this lower bracket final is very much shaping up to be over. Weibo will go 6-3 up. They'll make it 5 rounds consecutively. After a 3-1 statement start from Soul's Heart, it's all come crumbling down on this final map. Mr. Punch in the 1v4 with 30 seconds. No kit. Surely no way. And it has the yellow ping as a bit of information. Proxy goes off, and Turd, they end up trading. But he gets the kill. That matters the most. And Weibo have 3 series points.
Very much in the driver's seat. Surely from here, Weibo are able to close this one out. Has all the hallmarks of being a win by a pretty significant margin. This streak just continuing to build, and the momentum against Soul's Heart is becoming just a crushing force.
Well, they had a 6-4 lead on Chalet that then went to overtime. And ultimately, Soul's Heart then won that, so they were able to build momentum towards the back end of the game. They were 6-2 up on Cafe until Soul's Heart won 3 in a row to bring themselves back into that, ultimately losing 7-5. Now they're 6-3 up here, but they've won 5 rounds in a row. We haven't seen much from Soul's Heart at all on the attack. They have not been able to win an attacking round just yet on board. That's a concern for a map that really plays into the attacker nature. Scoutman back onto the 8s. The Monty was banned despite not really being a nuisance, if I'm being completely honest, and it puts a gun back into the hands of Scoutman. Keep an eye on that if things develop. But you can now say Turd, Scatman, both with a 125 EPS in the series. No one else even comes close, by the way. 36 and 25 for Turd, 36 and 23 for Scatman. Scatman still 4-0 on entries. Like, get this guy in a position to frag, please. Stop leaving him in the back line, putting him on shields. You're mismanaging someone who's playing a really, really good series right now. He's the only one that's positive for Soul's Heart.
Dread mine on.
By the way, Reaps is 1-7 in entries.
Really?
Absolutely staggering.
Yeah, that's
Those that
wild.
missed it earlier when we brought up his entry stats coming into this game, 25-13 with a +12. That +12 now is a what was he? 1-7, did I say? I'm gonna find that back again. I shifted away. Yeah, 1-7. So that's -6. So he's now +6 instead. So he's halved his plus entries in this series alone. 6-3. Soul's Heart now need to win 3 rounds in a row without fail, without error. No room for that anymore. And it puts Weibo in such a commanding position because they're the type of team, I think, that thrives in these situations where they know, okay, we've got at least OT minimum here. Backs are up against the wall for the opposing team. Let's go straight at them. Let's be aggressive.
Yeah, there's no need to be particularly anxious or playing to not lose. You can certainly be the aggressor and play to win here on defense.
Drone on a fan.
Hoven does seem to be oblivious. Double info onto Reaps. I like this from Soul's Heart. Acting on the info, though, is a different. element entirely.
Need the opening pick. It's been 3 rounds straight that Weibo have been able to find that opening pick. In fact, for the map itself, the attacking team has only found 1 opening kill so far for both teams.
There we go.
Until that moment, just them. But the insta-trade is there from APL over towards Fountain. So a very quick response from Weibo. They obviously switched on. Here comes Mark, though, on the Twitch, struggling in the last couple of rounds.
Oh,
what an
the
angle
Warden.
from Speak
Wow.
Easy on the Warden with the glasses activated. Pops the head of Scatman. And with that, Soul's Heart are done. Weibo will be moving on to the Asia Grand Final against Elevate. They will seek that revenge from the upper bracket final. I9 is a great player, a classy player, one with experience, but he's not clutching this 1v4, not with the way that Weibo are playing right now.
It has been a strange old series. We have literally seen things that we have never seen before.
So Turd, how fitting, he gets the final kill. He was the best player, the MVP in this series. Turdstar stand up and take that form into the grand final. Weibo will be the Asia team to compete against the Brazilian team in the grand final. They are the people's favorites now to take down those imports.
This game had it all from start to finish. There were moments where our stomach was well and truly in our mouths, where our heart was broken, but ultimately, Weibo, it's fitting for them to win this one. It kick-started with so many explosive rounds, but then things changed, Pengu. Unfortunately, for the Soul's Heart, for the underdogs, they just started falling. They started crumbling after going 3-1 up, and they just never found their footing again.
Yeah, it's a shame because they were looking so good. And I mean, to be honest, Soul's Heart clutching so many rounds, winning so many small moments, and just fighting back. I had my notes being like, oh, they're going to win. I'm going to start preparing my interview questions and stuff. I was going to ask them, was your plan to just disrespect Weibo here in Border and just over-aggress and believe in yourself? Because they were shutting them down so successfully until it just flipped upside down. And I gotta say, the moment where it's the 2v1 for defenders, right? Both are dead, 0 seconds left on the clock. Somehow Weibo gets the round victory. It felt like from that moment forward, there was just no recovery from Soul's Heart, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm looking at, we've got this like match tracking spreadsheet thing that we use, right? And it shows you how many people were left alive on the winning team at the end of the round. Almost never do you see that hit 0. That's weird. I mean, the only way you would see that is if, like,
Diffuser.
Yeah, diffuser is down, right? You kill everyone, don't have time to defuse. Obviously, like, it was a bit of a weird situation, but I think it's pretty clear that, like, the round had ended, and then the final kill for some reason was allowed to go through.
Yeah.
But it did very clearly hit all 0. So Weibo won that round fair and square. But we were talking about this, Rob, like, a bit of a jolting moment there for Soul's Heart, and they were already on the back foot. They were already kind of getting a little bit farmed. Like, they were up 3-1 at the start of Border, and then it really got brought back. Good. Yeah, and then, man, not even finding a single attack. Turdstar, I think Jake said it, right? Absolutely farming in this series. Best player on this map in particular, 176 EPS,
Insane.
17 kills, 6 deaths.
Yep.
Unreal.
Yep, certainly was from Turdstar, who has copped a lot of flack, not just from the desk, but from everyone prior to this. And, obviously there was a bit of controversy at the end of last year for him, but that's a way to do it. That's a way to wash away all the comments and pretty much pave a new path forward to a grand final against Elevate. But it's time for us to welcome in Ape for the interview. Ape, my friend. Oh, and Speaky in the background. How are you, Ape? I feel like I just saw you in person a couple of months ago. That was a very strange last map. You guys took the advantage when you had it and you ran away with it. But the question that I have that's on my mind, did you expect it to be that close? They really put on a bit of a performance.
I mean, for me personally, Soul's Heart's been playing really well. Like, this whole stage, right? We can agree on that. Like, they've been, like, let's say the underdogs,
Yep.
They've been showing that they are capable of, shoot back and fight back. So, yeah, I mean, we just do our best to win the maps, to win the series. Yeah.
I got to say, Ape, you're looking very chill for someone who's just qualified for a grand final and has a game coming up pretty soon. But I wanted to ask you a little bit about how the team is going since becoming Weibo. Obviously, you formerly played with Elevate, with Speakeasy. We saw you guys mixing up together with the old Team Joel Bleed roster. You guys have had a bit of time now to practice together, and my God, your map pool is looking insane. Against Soul's Heart alone this stage, you played Consulate, you've played Clubhouse, Night Haven, Lair, and then today you've played Chalet, Cafe, and Border against them. How do you guys have such a good map pool?
I mean, we have to. That's our job, no? We have to play. We have to play. Yeah, I mean, if we cannot play as many maps as we can, then we fail as a player. So yeah, it's just our job to play as much maps as we could. Yeah.
Nick?
First of all, that's a great response because everyone in Pro League has the same job, but most of them can't play half the damn map pool. So great job for you guys. You guys haven't had the perfect playoff, of course. That's why you guys in the lower bracket. Has the goal been to get back to that grand finals now from lower bracket, to change the play style and try new things? Or has it been about perfecting what you guys are already doing? Because on a map like Chalet, we saw Reaps playing Thermite a couple of rounds, or Aura, which is kind of new compared to the past. What's been the game plan?
I mean, the game plan is just to perfect what we already practice every time, every day. We've been practicing the stuff we practice, so we just do the best. We don't have much time to fix so much, so we just continue on focusing on what we need to play. I guess, yeah, that's all.
Okay. Yeah,
it's a condensed format. That's for sure. You've played a lot of games so far, and you're about to play another best of 3. Just very quickly before we even ask about Elevate or anything like that, Mentalist was always known as, I guess, the leadership figure in this entire roster.
Yep.
He's always been the leader on every team that he's gone to. He, however, has since retired and is now coach or analyst or whatever you want to call him in the background. He's still part of the roster. However, internally, how did that change Weibo? Who is now leading this roster in-game?
Leading, we can say it's Martin with Speakeasy,
Mhm.
but we all now have like our own part to how to explain. You guys, how to explain?
He needs the leader.
leadership
Things
who's
to
the leader.
cover.
Yeah, since Pat is already on the coaching staff now. Yeah, it's Martin, it's Speakeasy, but we share. Yeah. Yeah, not only one person lah. We can basically now all of us can, it's flexible.
Yeah.
Let's say.
It kind of looked like you were translating for a second there, Arpe, but I know you were just
Still said-
repeating exactly what
You
he
still
was
said
saying.
la though, so I'm loving that.
It always happens. Arpe, look, mate, this is I guess this is a really important matchup for you guys and for, I would say, the wider APL region. We saw yesterday GG got knocked out and they were done and dusted. They were the import team. Elevate, the import team for Asia. Does it mean anything to you guys, I guess, knocking them out? Like, do you go into this next and final matchup thinking about the fact that you're kind of playing for Asia in that respect, or is this just another game?
We have, for me, I have the respect for our region lah, but still, it's just the same. It's just the same day lah, as usual.
Yeah. I love it. Go in with a good
nothing
mentality.
much, guys.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, you know what? How about we let you go and prepare for that matchup, because you've got probably about 20 minutes left until you start that. Anything you'd like to say before we let you go, my friend?
Thank you very much for everyone that been supporting us. Keep supporting us until this final game, guys. Pray for us.
We'll pray for you as
for
well.
the best.
We want
Weibo.
Asia to do well.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Arpe. We'll speak to you soon, mate.
Thank you very much, guys. See ya.